Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with Cultist Simulator. I have got a video playing on my stream view, which I don't like. Should be able to deal with that. Just bear with me one quick second here while I get my settings back in order. For those of you who didn't know, there was so I obviously missed last Wednesday's Cultist Simulator stream. And we did do a makeup one on the weekend, and what was supposed to be about 3 hours turned into an almost 7-hour stream. So if you were watching by VOD, I'm sorry for that, especially because I was tired at the start and I was even more tired by the end, and I'm not quite sure how my commentary was. But I do tend to notice that they are the most popular VODs, and very likely because the game isn't out yet. On that note, this game is coming out on the 31st. If you are following the development, you know that the team responsible for this game is working exceptionally hard, and it is... I tried to talk about this a little bit earlier. It's really impressive to see these really long development cycles for independent games, and to see what is a team of 2 full-time people and a handful of contractors just be able to not just wrestle this project to the ground, but to have so much content inside of it, which brings me to the version news. This is Minimalist Bagels, also known as Cultist Simulator, development build still, 2018.5.p.1, the Harbinger's build. This contains a multitude of usability tweaks and mechanics, and a tomb load of new content. This is the last major build before launch. There's some missing content, and we want to tweak a few last mechanics. Thank you everyone for the thousands of feedback points and bug reports that we've had over the last 6 months. You've helped make this game what it is. Please keep sending them to support at weatherfactory.biz, and actually I need to get back on top of that because I have held off, sort of knowing the level of pressure, but to get that encouragement to continue to contribute makes me think I should probably stop slacking. One overwhelming issue in the feedback has been, I'm a bit confused. Confusion is part of the point of the game, but we don't want to be needlessly opaque, so we have been focusing on addressing that, and not all the remaining legacies will make it in before launch. Don't worry, we are committed here to adding them after launch still. If you'd like to help further, do tell your friends to wishlist the game on Steam and make a joyful noise on launch day. We'll be live streaming on Kickstarter when we press the button at 6 p.m. GMT on the 31st of May 2018. Lottie and Alexis. So this is something to keep in mind, guys. If you have any interest in this game, one of the best things that you can do is just outright buy it. There's a great reason to buy the game. You know, because of the opening week, you'll be getting the version that I have through the Kickstarter, which is the Perpetual Edition. You will not be paying for any DLC for this game when if you buy the Perpetual Edition and when they release it. Obviously, we'll be waiting for the remaining legacies to be implemented. But I mean, I guess the best I can say is, you know, imagine a Paradox game, or imagine any game really, where you know, you enjoy it enough that you wind up buying the DLC, or, you know, games being a little frustrated buying a season pass. All that essentially this is saying is buy it in the first week and you get that season pass for free. I think it's a really good way of doing it. One of the reasons for that is to increase the visibility of the game, and so with that in mind, there are 3 places that you can buy it. If you buy it on Steam, it's the biggest storefront, and it contributes to it climbing up the charts, which means other people will potentially find it. If you have a streamer that you like who is affiliated with Humble Bundle, you can use their affiliate link, and the money will either go to that streamer or whatever charity that they have assigned. In my own case, I have a mod, Jesse Quill, who is, you know, definitely does a lot for me for free. And if I can drive a little bit of traffic that way, if you guys want to put some of the money towards someone and not buy it on Steam, that's another option that you can have that'll make sure that things are distributed in a way that you can, and you still support the developer. And of course, there are the rankings on Humble, no less, though of course Humble is the publisher, so I'm sure they will be making some noise on their page in terms of their own release. Finally, as far as I'm concerned, I am affiliated with GOG, and I would be remiss if I did not mention them as another option. Obviously, GOG is a DRM-free option. I don't know, Steam is kind of by default DRM, but I think GOG may have a DRM-free option. I haven't really looked into it. If you do prefer GOG, obviously it would mean a lot if you used that link, but what I care about is that you support the game, not whether or not you support it through my own, an individual game bought through GOG. As nice as that is, it's not going to move the needle. I'm not going to pay rent off of the traffic that I send to GOG. What I care about is that you support the game, and more importantly, you let people know about it. I believe they've said this in the blog, but independent games are going to have to always have this problem of more people having never heard of it than people having heard of it. And so, you know, even if you don't feel that you are a particularly influential individual, your recommendations to your friends mean a lot. They listen to you. And even if you don't particularly find this game interesting, but you know someone who likes, you know, I mean, a lot of people throw around the term Lovecraftian. This is definitely one that has earned that title, I would say. Not that I'm really an authority on what Lovecraftian really is. But there's a number of different ways. You know, if you have somebody who reads a little bit too much H.P. Lovecraft or plays the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, if you have somebody who liked Sunless Sea, which was the game that Lottie and Alexis had worked on before, there's lots of different ways that you can access it. If you just have people who you know likes playing, you know, original things. If you have a reader friend who also plays games, they'll probably really enjoy this as well. Lots of different ways to support the game. The best I can say, if you don't buy it yourself, or you don't buy it as a gift for someone, at the very least, let somebody know about the game. Let a favorite streamer know, let anyone know that you're interested in seeing them cover this game, because the people behind it are really wonderful to interact with. They develop in a way that I think is very appealing in terms of practicing open development. Everything you want to know about this game is available on their blog in terms of how certain decisions get made and how it goes through. If you've ever submitted a support request, you get to see who they are. There's also some articles around just in terms of sort of talking about the origins of Weather Factory and the couple of Alexis Kennedy and Lottie Bevan. There was a really nice article by Kirk who you know, gave a really, I don't know, it was a nice article to read. It was sort of talking about a working relationship, or like a relationship at work, and one that ultimately led to sort of the co-founding of the studio. But with that in mind, let's give some credit where credit is due. Design, writing, and coding, Alexis Kennedy. Production, marketing, and biz, Lottie Bevan. UI design and coding, Martin Nerukar, who does have his own game, Nowhere Profit. Art is by Catherine Unger, Clockwork Cuckoo, Lottie Bevan, Sarah Gordon. The lovely music you're hearing is from Mickey Mar. Audio by Sound Cuts. Additional coding by Chris Payne. And special thanks to Sonia and PK, Matt Hosty, Haley Urias, and literally everyone who has ever sent feedback or a bug report. Thank you. And so we continue on with our game from the weekend. So, I made the rather questionable decision to put my verbs in a pyramid. Let's just take a quick look at what we've got here, because I've actually made some reasonably good progress, but I need a little bit of a refresher in terms of where I'm at right now. So, I have 2 favors from an authority, which means that it's basically a get-out-of-jail-free card, which is nice. We have answered the riddle for the stag door, which turned out to be the unmerciful mantra. I think I'm going to reorganize these a little bit. In my dreams I found a way to the stag door, sometimes called the horn gate or the adept's door. I have answered its riddle and am counted among the know. Alright, there's something... This is something like enlightenment. So glimmering is working down for us. I'm going to take a quick moment here to reorganize my cards, make them line up a little bit. We are a scholar of Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit, but I actually need to learn Aramaic somehow. Got a fairly healthy bank account right now. We are on the board of Glover and Glover, which involved some activities. Rumors of my esoteric interests have reached the ears of the elder Glover. This has left my position uncertain. If you don't attend this job regularly, you may suffer a demotion. So the challenge here is that I gained some notoriety, and I was no longer... basically, this has put my position at risk. I do know what happens if you ignore that particular warning, but I'm going to save it for everyone to find. So far as I can tell, we have unlocked all of the mentors, Count Jennings, Madame Bichet, Poppy Lascelles, and Dr. Ibn Aladim. We've got some pigments now. I have had a little bit, or actually I don't think this is a pigment. It's an auctionable. It's moonstone. Okay, I'm gonna divide these up a little bit. Oh, they're all auctionable. So one challenge that I am encountering here is I haven't quite been able to get painting to work the way that I expected. But we'll work on that. As you can see, we've got probably more lore than I've had in a playthrough, and one of the reasons why I have so much secret histories is I have been slowly digesting them one by one for the expeditions. Oh, you know what? I'm going to need more real estate because we're actually starting to make some progress here. Sorry, I know this is a tedious start, but it's a nice little way to review what's going on. So one of the things I'm trying to do is actually fulfill my ambition. Now, one difficulty I've been running into myself, and this is more of a sort of understanding the game thing on my part. Even though I've been playing this for a while, there are still some gaps in my understanding. It's like I sort of understand that there are rituals, and the game sort of guides me a little bit in terms of how to perform them. So, for instance, if I click on the Locksmith secret, nearly every summoning rite requires knock influence. This lore will provide it. Apparently, I have lost my white. Oh, wait, I moved my white up. Yes, that's correct. So there is a power that commemorates and grieves, from whom nothing is taken, but who cannot be deceived. You might expect to be able to crush him in your hand into bird bone fragments. Use this in a rite with martensite paste and an assistant dedicated to knock, or in other resources of equal power to summon the maid in the mirror. You know, we can actually probably try that right now. But yeah, so the big challenge is, as much as I want to try a ritual, it's not necessarily obvious why I need to do a ritual or such, but we'll figure that out. Oh, actually, this is an even higher level, so there's all my weight there. You'll notice that I've got a lot of disciples now compared to before, so that was from me getting a particular tool and being able to upgrade them. Here's the next bit of exploration that I'll be doing. I'll get that done relatively soon, actually. I know we're upgrading one right now. Actually, I think what we're doing is we're upgrading the pawns and hangers on. Oops. That's what I get for putting things too close. Moorlands is closed. We've bought them out. Temporary headquarters, I don't believe we have anything to do. Oh, our business is private. We could use someplace more secret. Interesting. So apparently there's more for us to do at the temporary headquarters now. Oriflamme's auction house. So far, we've just been getting the something something dark mysteries option, which suggests that it's sort of been exhausted like Moorlands. This is a fairly low level exploration, but it's one that I sort of want to stick with for now, just because I've got a bunch of secret histories to work with. Dope. Alright, that's a good disciplined workplace for a bright young thing. This is my little, this isn't really a malice, but I kind of keep the investigators and such there. We'll put our dimmed reason off to the side. Now, because my notoriety, actually I have a potential risk with this, but I'm going to go for work at Glover and Glover. So the risk that I have here is the notoriety will jump up at the time that I need, at the time that I'm at work. Yeah, so 60 seconds, the hapless prisoner is gonna be offed, and I'm sure some notoriety will happen out of that. We'll see if we can maybe dispose of them through other means. The other alternative, actually, I could have tried to hire someone to off the senior Glover, but we'll see what happens there. All right, I think we are set. Oh no, there's two other things. So the diagrams and illustrations, even across the centuries, are elegant, hypnotic, occasionally erotic, and in Aramaic. So we can't do much of that, but the Rose of Wanzai, the heretical teachings of a disgraced offshoot of the Sisterhood of the Knot, the arcane contemplative order that existed in all histories. This was recorded by, Wenzel. I think that says I here and L here, so let me just open a quick notepad. Okay. Yes, and we've got some rituals here. So we've got the Rite of the Crucible Soul, the Rite of the Watchman's Sorrow, and the Rite of the Map's Edge, which probably I would have been working on, save for the fact that I used my work here. So we'll do studying of the Road of Wanzai. I'm gonna go with an offshoot. The offshoot favored by the Wanzai, the True Sisterhood, followed Saint Respicus in pursuing the ascension in the name of the door and the eye, the merciless hour of light. Saint Respicus failed, perhaps because the larger sisterhood tracked him down and ritually strangled him. But Waznai outlined steps for those who hope to succeed. And then we'll also go into dreaming. In my dreams, I know the path to the stag door through the maze of bounds. Gearby will let me pass, but the path is always a puzzle. I will need reason. So in this case, I can use lore to potentially move up. Give it a quick try. Things don't seem to be changing that much if I go through these. I have a feeling, yeah, not enough. Usually, in my situation, I tend to use Lantern, but in this case, the game's pretty clear in saying I don't have what it takes, and I don't have any other higher lores, so I won't try those. We'll use Reason instead. The Stag Door is the Adept's Gate. To pass it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The head, Gearby, weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. And at long last, we are ready to unpause the game and see what happens. Okay, bid in the auction, and that is for a copy of Something Something Deep Mystery Something. So we will we'll give that a rest. By the way, I'm just going to do a quick, if anybody has said anything in chat, I haven't been able to see it. If you can communicate with me through other means, definitely let me know. But if not, it's not the end of the world. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring the case against me, and they've found no new clues. Alright, so we're going to put Oriflammes off to the side. And we have promoted a believer. In pain we are born, in hunger we are embraced, in delight we are devoured. These are the gates of the body. This is her promise. Not all that is born decays. Alright, so at the Stag Door we can get a Forgotten Chronicle, but we have a few of those already. So we'll let that rest, and we will... Oh, we got a Forbidden Epic at the Painted River. There is a great chamber in the manses through which the Painted River flows. The vagabond, it is claimed, painted it from the memory of the years before she left the house. Certainly there are histories concealed in its design. I traced them with my hand last night. There were fragments of aquamarine paint beneath my nails, flecks of gold leaf when I was done. Oh, now I've gone a little too aggressive with the delightful sacrament, so... The Forbidden Epic. The attention of the hours is drawn to the bloodiest wars. Afterwards, the histories are braided like hair. Exploring with a scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations in the land beyond the forest. Across the continent. So let's, I'm just gonna impose a little bit of order on my, I'm exalting some of these, some of this lore a little higher than it needs to be. I'll try not to spend too much time paused, but when it comes to reading new stuff, I kind of want to make sure that I'm being diligent. All right, so in pain we are born, in hunger we are embraced, in delight we are devoured. These are the gates of the body, and this is her promise. Not all that is born decays. In remembrance of that promise, we give ourselves to the feast. You gain an avid disciple. So notice here the colors actually do correspond to abilities. So we've got a dexterous disciple who has the aspect of knock. We've got a percipient disciple, loyal and keen-sighted lantern. Avid disciple is the Grail, loyal but greedy. And I'm assuming this is moth and white, but we will find out. And the way that I've been upgrading them, we've been using some of my existing lore to accomplish that. So, or some of my findings rather. So let's add another pawn in. We'll promote a believer by invoking Grail. My follower will kneel as a novice and rise as an initiate. I will administer the necessary oaths myself. And sorry guys, I'm just going to take one quick second here to reset my chat. I'm a little self-conscious about the VOD, so I know this kind of stuff is not always exciting to see. But it's necessary. I am going to try and start doing some YouTube-only content for this, which I think, you know, I can do some edits and things along those lines. But seek in dreams, seek the mansis. The third mark can be achieved only when one has passed the stag door. One must pass the wood, one must rise to the white door. The stag door awaits the light bearer, the sign of Girby. So that's a nice little hint in terms of what I needed to solve that particular riddle. And we have a mansis glimpse here. I of course won't say the specifics of that that particular revelation. All right, so we've put our time in at Glover and Glover. We're generally okay there. What I think I'm going to try doing now, I'm actually going to see if I can get one of these rituals done. So we've got the map at the right side. The vagabond is the only hour that never enters the mansis. This rite must be performed at the right place, the right time, and the vagabond will take that rightness for her own. We have the rite of the watchman Starro. The rite recalls the loss of the watchman who walks the house which has no walls. Light goes before him, shadow behind. He must not see you. The instrument of power is used to summon him and to take his sacrifice. Precious knowledge from the root of your thoughts. The assistant must speak the words that ... And this rite uses an instrument of power to set the blood afire. Fire is the lesion in the skin of the world. The assistant rarely survives unharmed. Let's try the right of the map's edge, because that sounds like the least, the offering. What influence will be taken? So you have to give up something in each of these, it looks like. I have to give up some lore. Oh, drat. I could have used the prisoner. Alright, so I'm gonna have to give up. What do I want to give up? Well, we'll start with an influence. We usually get influence from dreams, so we'll take a quick trip out there. Oops. And in the meantime, we're sitting a little bit idle with some of this other material. So I think the time has come to go on an expedition to the Forsaken Reach. And here Cat Caro will be the leader with the aspect of a lantern. And we will put some fairly healthy funds. You know what? We'll also bring an avid disciple along. The law does not touch this decaying fringe of the city. The mud here has claimed many lives, and there will, no doubt, be some wretched criminals or other layering in the warehouse. Expeditions need at least one funds per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles. If you run out of funds or followers, the expedition ends. And in the meantime, we'll see if I can do... So in this case, I need a level 4 knock for this commission, which I don't have. A level 6 edge, which we've only got level 4. And we need a level 6 lantern. We can actually produce that, so I will take my commission lantern, and in this case I need to use 2 reason for the cause. Am I missing something here? I cannot start the commission, despite the fact that I believe I have satisfied the requirements. Oh, you know what? There might be another... It looks like there's Nope. Okay. Well, that's useful. I'll submit a report. It's a bit of a shame for the playthrough, but we'll get through it. It would be interesting to see if I can actually fulfill it in any other sense. But oh, excellent. Okay, exotic cravings. So in this case, there should be a corpse. I'm curious if this will move up because I have a human corpse. So what hunger drives me? Against us, a thirst for blood. If only it were so simple. I will drain them far more deeply. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. In this case, I'll add some funds. It hasn't told us what we're encountering yet, so... and I think I can... I'll just start generating some glimmering and such. And here I will... Alright. So we've got a subtle rupture, which is the influence I was looking for, so we'll take that. Geometry contorts, doors burst open, snakes boil from the earth. A 10th order influence, a gathering knot of power and peril. This can be used in some rites to summon minions. So I have a minute to use. In sleep, I ran my fingers along the ridged edges of the stag door's scars. Our company, it was that shattered it, Gerby says suddenly. Before the gods who were flesh, the Mansus was forbidden to mortals. We were the first no. He begins again to weep his molten tears. I wish that we had not. I wish I had died in the world. I have forgotten what else he said, but I remember the shape of the fissures in the stag door, and for all of today, doors will fear my touch. So I've got a minute to work with this. My reason has been exhausted, so we'll have to set that aside, and there's our way to the stag door. So I'm curious here. So our ascension has gone up. So in this case, I'm going to need to make sure I have a corpse on hand while I gonna have to have a corpse on hand whenever I think that's gonna turn over. In pain we are born, in hunger we are embraced, in delight we are devoured. These are the gates of the body. This is her promise. Not all that is born decays. In remembrance of that promise, we give ourselves to the feast. So I am going to use the Order of the Bloody Cup again relatively soon. And this is a silent disciple, so it was the aspect of winter. But in this case, I'm going to set this aside for now, and I am going to fulfill my commission. The Watchmen will lend virtue to our lapse. They will show us the perils to avoid, probably. So Slee will go in there because he has the aspect of Lantern. We've got Iron for our trouble. We'll also gain some erudition, which is always nice. And again, I'm trying to avoid Scandal where I can, but we'll see whether or not that happens. And now we can continue on with our recruitment drive. So... and finally, we will use the Delightful Sacrament for the ritual. We're mud-spattered and thorn-scratched, but we've made it through. Oh god. I'm gonna have to pause pretty much immediately afterwards. Alright. So let's see if we can do anything with this subtle rupture. Obviously, I'm in the middle of an expedition, so this is going to be a little tricky. I review tiny columns of figure in a tidy 5th floor room. From my office window, I can see the river. My secretary brings me a hot drink every 59 minutes. The river is the color of rain. All right. So, let's see. The invocation. Well, we already used a corpse. So, what was it? Use this and write with Martensite Pace and an assistant dedicated to knock. Okay. What? Apparently I can't use it with Martensite Pace. Well, unless, I guess there are specific rituals that will allow me to do that. So, yes, okay, so I can't, I cannot do the right of the map's edge. I also need my desire, okay. So it seems like I can't actually do any of these, well, okay, hang on. So I may not actually need, I may not need to fill all of these. So that's another possibility. Alivard TV, thank you very much for that follow. Okay. So it seems that the pace doesn't count as an instrument, so... the other possibility, of course, is that we can... Summon a creature of the sun in rags. I found a useful conjunction of aspects, but I need more power. To call forth this chilly and shining thing, I'll need a very significant intensity of winter and a little knock or edge. Okay, now the challenge is I don't think I have I don't think I have what I need. So let's go back to the right of the map's edge. Okay, so we'll say I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this offering. There are possibilities here if I add edge, heart, or forge. Okay. So that's some heart. Summon one of the voiceless dead. These are the dead who do not descend or ascend, but who remain in the mantis and dream of winter. The power of winter, along with a little of heart's warmth, will draw them there. Alright, so that's one option. We have other instruments, though. I'm currently using my Grail. Alright, well that's... I don't think that was the intention, so I'm going to take a quick second and say... We'll start this, and I'm just going to make a... I do have a lot of cards, Alivard. I played this for about 7 hours yesterday, but half of that was on a previous playthrough where I wound up dying. And I haven't actually done a ritual yet on this playthrough, so I wanted to mess around a little bit and see what was going on there. Especially because rituals have eluded me. Now, were you a Kickstarter backer? Were you someone who got a copy of this game? Or are you waiting for that magical day on the 31st when we all get to play? Sorry, I'm just taking a quick minute here to make my notes for any bug reports. All right. Carrying on, we'll see what happens. Safe across the treacherous ground. Played for the first time today, you were given a key. Oh, wonderful! So that must mean that you are a streamer. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. You can add funds now or can send another follow. I'll always add the funds. I've got deep pockets. We'll throw some reason into the study as well. And bleak thoughts are coming after me. Alright, so I've gained the consciousness of radiance. Now I'm still doing the ritual right now. Alright, perhaps we can sway the Watchers from their purpose. Alright, so that sounds to me like a job for the Grail. Salabah, please tempt them. Our allures should sway the Watchers' minds. And in the meantime, we've got our Whispering Amulet back. We now have an erratic disciple. Now, for some reason, it seems that the erratic disciple is temporary. Loyal if peculiar, peculiar even for one of our kind. That's really interesting. And you'll notice that I am sort of out of people to promote, which means that I'm going to start going on a bit of a recruitment drive, and we will, I don't know, let's talk about Forbidden Epics, see what we can bring in. How you doing, The Exception? Good to see you. Oh, okay, we've got some of the voiceless dead. So a dark shape limbed with winter light, but it will not speak, but its eyes are avid, looking. The dead always long for the world, eventually. Okay, so I'm gonna get some of my artifacts lined up. Our invocation was successful. I'm doing quite well, The Exception. I'll admit, the last couple of months have been a big drain on me for reasons not necessarily related to the stream. But I've tried to keep that under my hat, and but I'm always happy to play Cultist Simulator. So now there's a challenge here. If I succeed in the journey, oh, sorry, the dark shape limbed with winter light. It will not speak, but its eyes are avid, looking. Yeah, sorry, we did read this. It's a challenge here. If I don't work, I'm gonna lose my job. If I do work, potentially I finish the trip, and I get scandal, which gets me fired. But I mean, I might as well do it now. It's not gonna get any better. But yeah, playing Cultist Simulator always makes me happy. So. The Watchers fall. Their present pleasures will end ill for them. Perhaps they'll think it is worth it. Meanwhile, we can pass. So I think I'm going to send... Let's see. He's grim. He's meticulous. But he's mortal. So I think I'm going to send the Voiceless Dead to try and off Wakefield. Alright. We've read whatever is to hand, so we've gained some erudition. And again, this is just me sort of finding things to do in my study while I'm waiting for an item. Fleeting memory has aspects of moth and secret histories, but I have nothing that I can really employ it with right now. Okay, we'll throw more money at the problem because I don't have much else to do. Let's jump into the world of dreams, and we will use our reason. Casual contentment, always a nice thing to get. got an acquaintance that says come with me, and we managed to dodge a review from the board. Yeah, I like it a lot, The Exception. I mean, there are very few games that I can think of. Oh, I'm going to need to find a corpse. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a corpse in time, though, so... Unless the Voiceless Dead counts. Yeah, so in 30 seconds I need to find a body. Don't think it's likely that I'll get one. Oh, hello. A delayed delivery. The watchers here were guarding crates sealed with thief-signed ribbons. It was not a lawful operation. The owners of the cargo may not be pleased with our meddling. Alright, so I've gained some notoriety. And we will put our disciples back and see what booty we've found. So some of this money is just me getting like a refund on what I put in, but again, I've got a fairly big stack, so... And we got money on Matthias and Amethyst Imigo Pursuit. The diagrams and illustrations, even across centuries, are elegant, hypnotic, and occasionally erotic in Aramaic. Ah, okay, so multiple editions. And we have got the Byzantine Tinct, the profound purple worn only in histories, where a Tyrian dye was not rich enough for emperors. It was difficult to bar entry to one wearing this color. So it's another pigment. Again, I've been struggling with painting. And it seems that I can't use these in rituals, but, you know, maybe it's time. I'm going to need to get rid of this notoriety. Ideally, I'm also going to get a body. So let's try painting again. I used to paint. I could paint those sites I half remember from my dreams. I might sell something. I probably won't. Alright, so it consumes restlessness if I put it in there. It doesn't seem to consume anything else, although I might get restlessness, so we'll see what happens there. And then as far as study is concerned, I don't know Aramaic. So, two things. I will consume another occult scrap to seek out the secret places of the city. And I got a couple of things that I'm going to need to do here. I think because I'm losing my Voiceless Dead soon, I'm going to throw one at Wakefield before too long. You've been on a roguelike kick, been playing several ones, and this hit your radar. You haven't seen a roguelike element done quite like this one. Yeah, so I like to say about this game that school was the original roguelike. Like, you gain experience. The thing that's really interesting about this game, I mean, there's going to be a wiki that comes up, and that'll be a shame. Because I think the thing that's most appealing about this game, and if some of you guys are on the fence about buying this, what's really great about the way that this game works is that, you know, your first cultists are probably going to die. Incidentally, Elevard, if you've not played the game that Alexis Kennedy and Lottie Bevan worked on before, Sunless Sea and its DLC, Submariner, I definitely recommend it because it does have those roguelike elements of sort of your captain will go out to sea and they'll die, but someone will inherit their things. And if you like this game, it's very likely that you'll enjoy the writing of the other one. Assuming you haven't played it, obviously Sunless Sea, I believe, was a very successful game. It feels like it was. But what's really interesting about this game is that over multiple playthroughs, as you try different things, and one of the great things about the development of the game over time is that there's a lot less sort of like guess and check. I've sort of been doing it, but not as often. What's really great about this game and what really appeals to me about it is that you, like, the development in the game, it's not like Risk of Rain or something like that, or FTL, where you're gaining different items each playthrough, although there are additional, like there's additional legacies that you can get. So if once you get captured, like that's the thing, actually losing this game unlocks you new legacies, which I think is a cool idea. Not the first time that idea has been done, but I like it. But what's interesting about this game is that the development you get is less about, you know, here's a new gun that might make the game a little bit easier, or at the very least a little bit different. The reward of multiple playthroughs are you learn new things, and you see bits of lore that maybe you haven't seen before, or you see connections that haven't been there before, and so you learn more about the world that's on, well, again, like, you're picking away at the skin of the world, you're seeing what's really going on, you're learning about the Mansis. You can't understand what the Painted River or the Ascent of Knives is if you don't read the text. And there's probably more than what you'll ever see in one playthrough. And so what's really interesting about this game is that the roguelike element is what happens in your head and your understanding. Infinity Blade is a fantastic game. That was one of the first games I played on a phone. And Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery was the first thing I played on an iPad. But Infinity Blade's a very good game. Ooh, we've got a bitter atmosphere. Alright, I visited the Ascent of Knives last night, the harshest of roads through the house. It has been sacred to the Meniscate and the Sun and Rags since the Intercalate, when the sun was divided. When I woke, my room was freezing. The chill of it had cracked the window glass. Infinity Blade? I think the reason... So I don't think there's any, like, nefarious reasoning behind Apple for this. I think the original logic was that... I mean, it could be there's an exclusivity deal. I think the original logic was that when that was first released, there wasn't really a lot of options. Like, Android was very... I mean, it still is kind of a wild platform, so you're not able to get... Like, you're not able to guarantee certain hardware. And I'm not sure, at least when I was developing something for Android, this is probably just my failing as a developer, but like, I didn't really know how to know what was going on there. Now mine was pretty simple, like I really could have made it like a little web app or something like that, but I have a feeling that Chair was obviously pushing the limits in terms of what they could do with that hardware. So I suspect they kind of just threw up their hands and said, it's iOS exclusive. I've also heard that apparently there's more money to be made in iPhone apps, which is a shame, of course, because I know a lot of my friends really like... prefer using Android. Alright, so I've gained an acquaintance, and it is Porter. Alright, so, unfortunately I'm not able to put this corpse into my ambition, but let's have a chat with Wakefield. Wakefield, say hello to the Voiceless Dead. Send a quiet minion to resolve the problem of a hunter. My minion will watch and wait. If we're lucky, they may have the opportunity to dispose of the enemy. This is less likely to succeed than an edge attack, but success or failure will both draw attention, but the minion will usually survive. Ah, okay. Well, the alternative would be I can try a... Yeah, I really should have thought of this. Well, I'm committed to it now, and unfortunately I don't think there's a good way for me to get my notoriety. I think I'm just going to have to see what happens if I don't attend my board seat at Glover and Glover. So in the meantime, we'll throw a little passion into the study. And I'll go back to the stag door. I finished the painting with the excitement to the excitement of absolutely no one but me. Sometimes painting will gain you glimmerings. Study them to unlock more advanced painting options. Oh, that's really interesting. Alright, I think we've already been to the Forsaken Reach. But we'll use our last occult scrap. There's not a lot else that I can really do about this. A difficulty at work, risk of demotion. Considerable latitude is allowed in someone in my position, but my absence has been noted, and I will have to charm the Elder Glover. My minion has returned with a trophy. Ooh, okay, so I've got my human corpse. Voiceless Dead is still working on it, and I've gained some notoriety. Now, there's something I want to try here. Actually, I'm gonna, oh wait, no, Avid is Grail. Okay, so we will have to try Leo here. Significant conversations in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my followers? So the logic I had here, the heart relentless beats to protect the skin of the world we understand. The heart is the principle that continues and preserves. So I can put annoyances, society, hunter, and ingredients. So I want to see... Huh, okay. Well, let's try work. Persuasion, I need to put passion inside that. This is not a pleasant conversation, but it may be a necessary one. So I think I still get demoted nonetheless. I wasn't paying attention to that. I forgot to put my reason in, so we'll carry on with this. I don't have a subject. I thought I might be able to throw the notoriety inside there. Notoriety is... Alright, I have been offered another chance. I am apparently expected to be grateful. I don't really see how I'm getting out of this, though. Okay, I'm going to study some health so that I can get my vitality up. Nothing, then. Indeed, nothing. Okay. An ally, an enemy, or something in between. So I can aspect patron, summoned, lore, headquarters, society, mortal. Oh, that's interesting, actually. So let's see what happens when I talk about interrogate, intimidate, beguile, instruct, recruit. Alright, well that's definitely not working. We've got another Forsaken Reach. We can go on an expedition right away, but my temporary headquarters, I feel like there should be something else that I can do with this. So I can't put summoned in it. I can put a follower in here. And just out of curiosity, so if I put the erratic disciple in, betray and imprison a follower, this one must serve another purpose now. Into the cupboard they go. Yeah, I'm not quite ready to do that. So, alright, so haven't found a use for my temporary headquarters yet. With this notoriety, I'm not really able to do that much with my... I'm not really able to do that much with my board seat, so we will paint. Ah. Let's get Violet to search the city. Crowded thoroughfares by day, a fog-wrapped labyrinth by night. I'll send my minions out to searching for opportunities. I just want to see what I can do when I put restlessness inside here. Okay, Overlook Place is nice, but I'm actually looking for a murderer, thanks. So the main reason I'm looking for a murderer, like I only have one good edge follower at the moment. Furious Air. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm a little divided. So, payments. So this hireling is Moth. Not really worth it, in my opinion. I'll keep you here. Porter, eventually I'm going to recruit you, but not quite yet. And as a last-ditch effort, I'll send one of my better assassins after the Elder Glover. That'll buy me a little bit of time, but that'll also probably raise my notoriety, so it's not... Okay, Rose. In fact, there's no possible way I'll get something to take care of that problem, so let's just... Oh, I can't! The board seat is not a problem. Inconvenient. Well, we'll see what well, no, hang on. We'll see what happens if I don't show up again, because that notoriety is definitely gonna cause me problems. Okay, so if I study this glimmering, need more than one glimmering. Well, technically yes, but difficulty at work, risk of demotion. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't feel like there's a major consequence to not showing up. I just need to use my passion on them. So anyways, we'll use the vitality. All I need now is time. Not going to pay for it. So it's kind of interesting to see how I navigate the work, to be honest. Let's see what happens when I talk about this. And I should also talk with Dr. Adim to get a new commission. And I'm sad, but I don't have any despair, so I'm good on that front. I guess I can do another summon. Alright, Lantern is the aspect of preservation, but also ceaseless motion. If I add Knock, I might be able to attempt a summoning. If I add Edge, I can try to conquer my passion with reason. If I add Winter, I can attempt foolish, beautiful magic. The end is beautiful, minor. The sun in rags brings beautiful endings. This sudden and perilous magic will end someone or something, but it's impossible to know what. It will also kill any mortal or spirit that assists with the ritual. You are calling only a minor degree of winter, so this will often fail. Well, it says Gale here. Call in at least 10 winter to increase your chances, although it might be safer if it does fail. I'm not quite ready to throw this away yet, so... so if I add Edge, Reason's Glory, with at least 5 Lantern and 1 Edge, that's 2 Lantern, I can use the mystic discipline called Reason's Glory to transform my passion into reason. Cool. And if I try Knock, which probably won't be sufficient, there are possibilities here. If I add Edge, I might bring something out from behind mirrors. If I add Forge, I might contact something incandescent. And I believe... Creature of the Red Grail. I found a useful conjunction of aspects, but I need more power to call forth this monstrous, if affectionate, entity. I'll need significant intensity of Grail and a little Moth or Knock. Okay, so I don't think any of this is going to be powerful enough. Yeah. And I don't think I have any other influences, so we'll put it on ice for now. That wasn't where that went. I don't think I have any other influences. This doesn't count as an influence, this doesn't count as an influence, and nothing else is going on, so put that back for now. Let's, we'll investigate the strange places after searching the city. We've got another moth, which I don't really need. Nothing then, okay, so... Ah! Back to health. Let's talk to Adim to get another job. We'll follow the stag door for this one. I really probably should just start upgrading my lore here, but I was hoping to get some books. Alright, he wants a substantial commission on Lantern. I don't believe I have enough. So Forge and Lantern I need 6, and I have... Oh, well... oh, that's why that wasn't working. I was using the wrong aspect. Alright, so I think we'll go on an expedition. Studying... And in the meantime, let's... Okay, it's expedition time, so... Cat Caro, you're the leader again. I'm doing okay funds-wise. The Ascent of Knives, an urgency of appetite. So I might have to cool it on the rituals for a little while. All right, so money, cat. I think my notoriety is safe, so I can plead for my job again. Curious few. The wrong kind of reputation might awaken the interest of the curious, the puritanical, or the vengeful. A reputation may inspire an adversary to emerge. And a light in the skull. Whenever the principle of lantern sheds its light, I may recall additional scraps of knowledge. So I'm a little short on reason, but we should be okay. I will plead for my job again. Read sentimental literature to get my glimmering up, not that that's really mattered. Gain some contentment, and I have to talk with Adim a little bit later to make it all work out. More erudition for my trouble. Oh dear. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now or send another follower. Looks like more investigations going on. The Watchman will lend virtue to our lamps. It will show us the perils to avoid, probably. Slee is... aspect. Alright, I've been offered another chance. Apparently, I am expected to be grateful. Let's just use up that board seat right away. It's a little hard to keep that in balance, but I suspect that's the reason. Alright, we've got a poor lunatic. Some overwhelming experience has robbed this individual of their senses. They will disappear soon, never to be seen again. We'll see if we can use them in a ritual. Again, I haven't quite gotten my grasp on that yet, so it takes a bit. Okay, we got another hanger-on, which is not exactly my favorite. It's not my favorite result, but we can work with it. And I've got more reason and erudition, so we'll set that aside there. We'll talk to Dr. Redeem to get the commission taken care of. Hopefully that'll turn into my regular, ooh, I've got exotic cravings. Is there something I can do about the poor lunatic? Not at the moment. Alright, our next phase. Ah, excellent, it counts. A thirst for blood, if only it were so simple. I will drain them far more deeply. So I believe we are one more of those away from achieving the level of desire that we needed, so. Okay, in the meantime, let's induct Porter into the Order of the Bloody Cup. We'll do that to the hanger-on as well. And I don't think I'm going to do anything with Dream for now. I need to get my some of my aspects up. Okay, board seat is happy. I think I'm actually gonna run that again. As long as the expedition doesn't finish, I'm okay with that. Once it does, again, I want to keep it under my hat what happens, but it is not desirable, so... Alright, Porter is a believer. Porter plies his razor and his scissors to the great advantage of his friends. And we will also bring the hanger-on in. I am done. My satisfaction is as deep as the moon in the sea. Another mark buds in me. So we are now up to... Oh, hang on, that's only level 4, so that didn't have the effect I thought it would. You know, I should have taken a look I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough glimmering now, but I might have actually been able to get another passion out of this. Let's, we'll start charging these. I'm just trying to think. Okay, so I was able to upgrade it. The fourth mark is the intermittent improvements to my skin and patches along my arms or down my thighs, and just clear, soft, glowing lake skin. A child new step from spring water, but only in patches. Rest, reconsider your priorities, or risk yourself in the exploration of the kingdom of sleep. Okay, so not quite there. I thought that I might be able to upgrade this through satisfying the desire, but that doesn't seem to be what's happening. Alright, so we've gained a pawn. I'm gonna do one more use of the board seat. I think I can get away with that. And we will upgrade Porter using the Whispering Amulet. Oh, an expedition member is dying. If we fail to pass Peril or a Guardian, we'll usually lose one of our number. I wonder if I forgot to check what was going on. That's a shame, because that's actually a decent team member that I'll wind up losing. I probably wasn't paying attention. That looks like it was the Lantern? No, it was Cat Caro. Yeah, well, Cat Caro is also Lantern, so a shame. But sometimes to make an egg, you have to break a few omelets. Alright, we might be able to upgrade our Glimmering as a result of this. I'm gonna do another work at Glover and Glover. Watchers, locals with a grudge or a duty or a mercenary contract. We might trick them with Moth, seduce them with Grail, or battle them with Edge. So let's take our Moth. I haven't organized these guys by their aspect. So Yazbet, do your magic. Awake, awake, they're upon us. That way, quickly. Promote a believer by invoking the Grail. Yes. Okay, so welcome Porter, you will replace Cat. And we will also upgrade our pawn. Oh wow, it goes down. So I need to keep a steady supply of corpses ready for this thing whenever it comes up. That's a hard target. Okay, we'll work with that. And I don't have nearly enough glimmering. I think I'm going to be on this treadmill for a while, which is a shame. Okay, so let's give up trying to get extra glimmering. Let's see if there are ways that I can improve my ascension. I think I basically need to keep the talk open to be able to off someone. Watcher's victory, an expedition member is dying. That was... apparently the Watchers are a tough target. So I'm definitely going to need to do more recruiting. We'll load up on money, because this expedition's going to be taking a while, I think. So I don't really want to use Rose here, but then Saliba, I believe, is my only other Grail member. Oh, Yazbet is still here. A lively disciple, so that's Heart. Alright, let's think. Adim, tell me what you want. Very substantial secret histories. I'm pretty sure I can accommodate that. Oop. And I have a... Do I really want to put Rose and risk like that? I think I'm gonna have to. The Watcher's victory! They are more cunning and more numerous than we expected. This will end in blood for us. No good. Alright, we're really gonna do a recruitment drive. If we fail to pass a peril or a guardian, we'll usually lose one of our number. So I believe that was another lantern who we lost. So again, we're not making progress on the expedition, so I might as well keep working at G&G. The expedition continues. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. I'm assuming it's just the Watchers again. I think in this case we'll go for Grail. Oops. Our strength is considerable. The Watchers aren't ready for us. We should be able to bring them down. Oop, wrong one. And I mean, I should probably be studying something. There's no reason not to do that, so. Oop, probably should have been studying health from the looks of it. Alright, so it's possible. Watcher's victory. They're more cunning and numerous than we'd expected. This will end in blood for us. Jesus Christ. More work. And we've gained another patron. We've got a peculiar rumor, which I don't think we're going to be able to use. Yeah, not too helpful there. An expedition member is dying if we fail to pass a peril or guardian. We'll usually lose one of our numbers. So I think we are out. No, we have another. We do have another moth, so we will bring Porter along. Why did I do that? I should have done vitality. Alright, the expedition continues. In this case, we're going to add... Oh, not forge. So I think we've lost several people, including Rose, it looks like. So I no longer have Edge. Grail's Temptations, we could... Let's add a... We'll also add the Avid Disciple. I probably should have added some more of these guys as sort of front lines. Once the study is done here, I'm going to add a health in to get myself the vitality I need to deal with my affliction. One of the main reasons why I keep working at the board is that if I have a large savings, that'll kind of help me get over some of the financial difficulties I might have. The hope is, of course, that the notoriety that I generate from doing too many expeditions will be offset by all the lore that I get and the commissions that I'll be able to fulfill. But I do have a couple of problems, like not having quite enough forge lore to be able to achieve some of these. So, how you doing, Docs Gaming? Alright, looks like they really want to give me patrons, so that might mean that I have exhausted my options as far as members. Alright, I failed again. I have a feeling I'm just going to churn through all of my my followers here. Oh, not too bad, Docs Gaming. I feel like I'm losing a lot of members of this expedition to the Watchers. Okay, let's see if I can find a way of getting a corpse really quick. I don't think that's possible at the moment. The red need. Yeah, the only way I could wind up with a corpse would be through... Oops. Only way I could wind up with a corpse would be through exploration or talking, and those are both occupied right now. Okay, do I have anybody with an aspect that's actually helpful here? I do not. The Watcher's confusion, their bewilderment is our opportunity, will pass in silent secrecy. Alright, so the bottom line on this is 3, but I am going to have to try and find some ways to get... I'm gonna have to find some ways to get a steady supply of corpses. Treasures lie before us. Okay, so in 25 seconds we'll be okay. We'll add funds just in case. Come with me. Eldridge. Welcome to the Order. We'll try and entice you with some secrets as well. And let's throw more passion into the problem. So the Watches are basically a bad guy in front of us. A delayed delivery, alright, I can work with that. As far as work, let's do level 6 commission. I don't normally like using up... Oh, actually, I can upgrade Chiliarch's lesson. That should probably be the next thing I use study for. Okay, no flavor text, unfortunately, so we will... I'm just going to pause for a second here while I unpack all of this. We lost a lot on that trip, unfortunately. Namely in terms of body, but also for funds. Alright, so we've got a winged doll. In the attic above the skeleton house, there was a window. Beside the window, there was a box. In the box, there was a bandage. In the bandage was a twist of clotted hair. In the hair was wound a doll, because the window had never been opened. And the Shaven Lock Tantra, also known as the one who has shaven his hair. This story goes, is the lore that even the shape-changing Vantras rejected. Okay, we are gonna jump straight into another expedition, as frightened as I am by that prospect. Pope Clifton, and we will bring a disciple. Have a disciple, and we will put some money into the problem. All right. So I gotta find a way of dealing with this notoriety. I thought there was a way to use cult members to deal with that, but apparently not. So here, I'm gonna use Scholar of Sanskrit to translate this text. Oh, drat. I need to find a way of producing corpses. Expedition continues. I didn't think that was going to come up so quick. And again, my board seat is expiring, but if I put the notoriety in, it's gone for good. So I'm leaving it. I'll try painting, but I don't think it really will do anything. We call upon the watchman who illuminates. The watchman will lend virtue to our lamps and will show us the perils to avoid, probably. So I'm just going to pause for a second here. I'm going to take a minute to reorganize my followers, and I'm going to organize them by aspect. So this is eventually going to conflict. But for now, I'm just going to put them above their lore. That should help me identify what I need a little bit faster. Quite a few forge, actually. Interesting. Okay, so I don't quite have the ranks that I thought I did. Looks like we've gained Victor. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start recruiting these guys right away because I did not realize my talent pool was so shallow. And because I am lacking any other lantern, we'll use our persistent disciple. Well, this will help with my notoriety. I think I'm just gonna cool it for Glover and Glover for a while, though. Prepared the text for study. The Tantra speaks glowingly of those who are prepared to abandon their old self to seek a new and higher self. It warns that once the change has truly begun past the third mark, a return to the old self is dangerous and painful. Alright, Eldridge has the aspect of the knife, so actually, or of edge, so I want to boost him right away. An expedition member is dying. Guess we didn't have enough light lantern. All right. Connie Lee, the heiress, suffragist, and adventurer. She's recently put her chaotic enthusiasms and considerable wealth to the service of the Suppression Bureau. All right, so that'll be somebody to bump off when I can. Alright, so let's think a little bit. We'll go for the Silent Disciple again. And Connie Lee has Mystic, so she survives creatures from the Mansis. She's tenacious, so survives physical attacks, but could potentially be driven to despair. Whisper your secrets into the earth, burn them in fire, scatter them in the sea. Still they will cling to your hair, the Tantra cautions. It provides an occult riddle that claims is sometimes the answer to the riddle of the Hunter's Gate. I did not know there was a riddle at the Hunter's Gate. I wonder, or no, I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Okay, so I don't have anything else to do right now, so here I'm going to upgrade Chiliarch's lesson. And as far as work, let's see what's happening here. We call upon the watchman who is not compassionate. The watchman shows mercy neither to our obstacles nor to us. If we're lucky, we may make it through. Alright, let's try one of the forge. What am I doing? I don't know if that'll work, but... and in the meantime, I will recruit Victor. but I think I need to get more people in the cult. And I'll try painting again, but it's one of these cases where I really don't think I'm doing painting right. Safe across the treacherous ground. We're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. All right, good luck for, good news for me. They will not forget the savor that I've given them. So Victor also has edge, which is generally good news, but not great for me at the moment. I do eventually want to turn Victor into a disciple, but I already have a higher edge, so I'm reasonably happy with that. Gates of Intuition are opened, and we'll add some funds just for the heck of it. I found a customer. She'll probably hang it in her spare bedroom and never look again. Sometimes painting will give you glimmerings. Study them to unlock more advanced painting options. That's the part that's really getting me, because it seems to me that whenever I study glimmerings, it results in me against the Watchers, the Grail's distraction. I'm not ready to do that. We'll actually throw Eldridge into the problem. Because he's my stronger... He's a strong edge aspect, so... Alright, that's a bit of a shame. Because I was hoping for another... I need erudition, which I don't have. Treasures lie before us. Their blood pumps bright and then dark. They should not have opposed us. We move on. Watchers are done. I'll put funds in just because I'm not entirely clear what happens if I don't. And I don't have the erudition, so this will very likely fail, but... this time the research has failed, but I've learned the lessons of experience. So we'll try this again. Delayed delivery, a barred door, a cramped space, a hidden cargo. Alright, so we've gained a peculiar rumor, which I will investigate in a moment. In the meantime, we will fulfill the commission. Alright, so some notoriety. We got Eldridge back, who is an aspect of the edge aspect. Laidlaw's back, Forge. Silent and persistent and avid disciples. One funds. An icon of St. Agnes, which is a tool. It's knock. So we're getting a few of these. And the Rose of Nuriel, marked with the tripled sign of the arcane contemplative order known as the Sisterhood of the Knot, and it is in Greek, which I can translate, so that's good news there. So we're out of occult secrets. I'm going to start with the peculiar rumor. I suspect that at the end of this story I may find someone who will hear what I have to say. So I'm going to use a Furtive Truth next to explore a more advanced location, which we may not have the manpower for, but it's probably good to take some risks here. Oh yeah, Adim's on cooldown. I need a corpse. Eldridge, dispose of this, please. My minion is powerful. The hunter is unlikely to survive, but the attempt will draw attention. Sadly, we won't have her... we won't do her in time. So basically, I think what this is saying is I need to have like a fresh supply of corpses. Ready to be drawn on at a moment's notice. Hanger-on's nothing special. So we'll use our furtive truth to find a new location, because that's really the only way we can get books right now. And we're getting closer to... I await word. My minion is returned with a prisoner. Ooh. We've captured Connie Lee, the heiress, suffragist, and adventurer. Let us be sure she dies in captivity. That's some good work there, Eldridge. And in the meantime, I'm drowning in notoriety. So let's... There doesn't seem to be anything I can do about that right now. But at the very least, what I can do is upgrade Victor with the Whispering Amulet. Oh yeah, I also need a ceremony. I should have waited to talk to Dr. Redeem because I don't have any study that I can doing. But Gladwin Lake is the next place we can go. Beneath the stark slopes of the fells, the mist-wreathed surface of the lake waits. There is a twin altar before the Romans came, and a legend of a serpent who is sent to defile that altar. So we will explore this location. Now, because it's a higher level, I expect it to be more difficult. And in this case, I'm going to start with some hangers on. All right, research needs glimmering, so we've got 2 of 3. It's possible it may still work, but it's also possible that it will fail. I can also do some more work in the white door. I need to think about that a little bit, because I'm not clear what rituals I want to do. I've increased my mastery of the lore of the knife, which we call by its aspect, edge. And this is the operation of the Labhite, a series of mystic exercises that requires both dedication and terror. Use this in a rite with a corpse and winter power, and the corpse will rise. Alright, the expedition continues, so we'll put some funds there. It looks like the younger sister, the mother of ants, was born among the serpents. She has so many younger sisters. It can be defeated in battle, or it will respond to the mother's power. Oh, but we don't know the power of the mother of ants. Okay, so I'll... eyes like gas lamps, a mouth one could crouch in. We might defeat the serpent, we might regret trying. Strength is considerable. Eyes like gas lamps, fangs like stalactites. A great serpent is a powerful foe, but so are we. I'm also mildly curious. Okay, so if the mother of ants is... Alright, so it doesn't seem to change it if I put heart. Oh, we call upon the mother of ants, which encircleth. So the aspect is the knock. The serpent is long enough to coil around a cottage. Its fangs glisten like ice. Probably it will respect the power we bear. Oh, that's actually a really interesting point. So let me just bring up the card. If you guys have not followed the Weather Factory Twitter, I forgot, the card is purple, so that makes a lot more sense. Right. There was a blog post about this too, but it's here somewhere, I swear. Yep, I may be wrong. Okay. Sorry guys, I think it'll be worth it to actually see the card. Oh, damn it. I don't have a good way of searching this. Oh, actually, Sarah Gordon's Twitter should have it. I know she's pinned... She's pinned her sort of work in progress. Are you kidding me? Okay, there's a blog post about the mother of ants, and anyways, we know from the game that it's hello, the Eyes of Sin. How are you doing? I'm sticking with it. Consciousness of Radiance, which technically... Oh, hang on. I need to do stuff. All right, I can fulfill this commission now, so that's Edge 6. We'll throw 2 reason at the problem. Ooh. Write an extensive treatise on the practice of the edge and the hours that rule it. This may be useful for a commission. Should actually read what the commission says. He wants a commission on Lantern, which I can supply him in fairly short order. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and recruit someone. Oh, are these Octavian's new emotes? Congratulations. For those of you who don't know, the Eyes of Sin is the one responsible for my own emotes. I'm very happy with the work that she's done. The Serpent Sorrow, it lowers its great head, moisture seeps from its lidless eyes. Is it weeping? What does it remember of its eldest sister, whose power we call upon? So I think we got past it. Treasure lies before us. All right, well, we're good there. They're a bit smaller than you'd like. You need to adjust them. I finished the manuscript. Your own work in manuscript form. Talk to your patron to get paid for this, so no new information about the edge. And once I'm done my recruitment drive, I should be good to go. In the meantime, let's do our commission on Lantern. And study health. The chapel root, there are ruins beneath the water, just beneath, at waiting depth. The lake has risen a little in all these years, but not enough to keep us out. So I've got a hanger on that I can recruit if I have to, but one of the big things here is I actually need to balance, so right now I don't have any, well I have a prisoner, which is good, but I need to be careful in terms of what I keep available. Alright, some more notoriety. We've got Enid, Aspect Knock. I'm hesitant to use Neville just because I don't want to lose him. Alright, Rose Pearl Dust. So that's a pigment. Pearls are sacred to the witch and sister, especially those of this color. They have been used in protective rites, among others. Thank you very much, guys, for the attention on Twitter. Alright, De Horis, which we've had before, and the Conscarum Diaries, the diaries of the explorer and murderer Lars Westergen. They're unhelpfully translated, he's unhelpfully translated them into Figrin for privacy. Alright, well, I'm going to put the ones I can't translate on a lower on a lower level, and I'm going to need to translate 2 of them, but only after I get my fresh air and exercise. So, exploration time. We'll uncover another site from the Secret Histories. And after this, I'm going to fulfill a couple of commissions. And what else am I going to do? I'm okay for money. If I need to, I can obviously sell some of these. I also keep forgetting that I can use these in rituals. And what else? I can dream again, but I don't really have the strength of the lore to do what I want. All right, so we've got our commission lantern and the manuscript. All right, so I gained. Did I gain an acquaintance? I don't think I did. It said I gained one. It lied. Okay, so let's take a look. Study-wise, let's just get the translations done. I think makes the most sense. I'm sitting on lore rather foolishly. And let's get these commissions done as well. looks like we'll have another rival that we can do away with fairly soon. Lockwood Fen, this place merits closer investigation. Indeed it does. Alright. Paid the price of iron for my knowledge. And Count Jannings. Here's your manuscript, sir. The Weary Detective. The Weary Detective. I can really send anyone after him, I think. So now would be a great time for me to try and upgrade lore if I could, but I don't actually have the means of doing so at the moment. So let's go on another recruitment drive. And I think we'll go straight to Lockwood Fen. And I liked what we did last time of leading with disciples and then bringing the talents that we needed to bear. So out into the Mudlands somewhere, we are certain, is a shrine bedecked with precious oddments. If the locals try to kill us, we are probably heading in the right direction. Expeditions need at least 1 funds per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles. If you run out of funds or followers, the expedition ends. Sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. And alright, so there's one translation down, and we'll get a second one taken care of. By the way, I don't know if the commentary is all that exciting for you guys right now, but if you do have any questions, feel free to speak your mind. Throw more money at the problem. So it looks like we've got Watchers and we've got Treacherous Ground. Treacherous Ground might be a problem because I don't have anybody with the aspect of a lantern at the moment. Or anybody useful with the aspect of lantern. Call upon the Watchman who is not compassionate. The Watchman shows mercy neither to our obstacles nor us. If we're lucky, we may make it through. Call upon the Markard who quells and quiets. The Markard is the hour of the forge as well as winter. Her power might keep quiet the unsteady earth. We'll probably be fine. Ah, that's actually, that's neat. I see why that makes sense. I kind of like the fact that when you have intuitions about things in this game, they start to fit a little bit better. Safe across the treacherous ground, we're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we've made it through. And Deoris has been translated. Let's read that one, because I think we already have it. This volume deals mostly with the Lionsmith, the Tribune of Scars, and their enmity. And let's paint. A case of mistaken identity. Okay, so it looks like I'm out of... Looks like I'm out of followers. That's good to know. I'm gonna have to make do with what I have then, which might be challenging. That's actually curious if you can if you can lose all your followers. Oh God! Our strength may not be enough. The Watchers may be too much for us, but we still have a chance. Strength is considerable. The Watchers aren't ready for us. We should be able to bring them down. I was paying attention to too many things that I shouldn't have. Alright, so we've got another knife secret, which we can use to upgrade, but not a great reason to do so yet. And read the note, Rose of Nuriel. Sir Tryphon Nuriel explains, perform secret miracles in the name of she who bleeds and bears, and she who opens. Thus Sir Tryphon opened the way to the house of the sun. Thus Sir Tryphon underwent the great birth, an ascension to immortality. Sounds like a good book to read. And found a customer. Okay, so I'm gonna see, can't put glimmering on work, sadly. Okay, so no, we can still recruit. That's, oh no, hang on, that was a pawn. So we'll turn him into a bishop. And I can get some commissions. I didn't talk to people about it first, so that's on me. The Watcher's victory. They're more cunning and more numerous than we'd expected. This will end in blood for us. Alright. So perhaps Moth? Winter? Could throw Victor in the problem too. Expedition member is dying. If we fail to pass a peril or a guardian, we will usually lose one of our number. I notice my temptations haven't been procking. Okay, so Sir Tryphon began his ascension by passing the horn door. He continued it by learning the invocation Theatic, which Nuriel does not here record, on account of its extreme holiness, and Nuriel explains grimly to achieve the 7 marks of the Great Birth, St. Typhon consumed both whose soul had left them and even those in whom the soul remained. Okay, so this is definitely telling... So there's a few things to give you an idea about how I'm thinking about this right now. This is definitely describing the kind of journey that I'm going for. So I've passed the horn door. Invocation Theatic, which it doesn't mention, so I need to figure that out for myself. And most importantly, it's combining Knock and Grail. So these are things that I want to sort of keep in the back of my mind as I carry on. That apparently Knock and Grail are sort of complementary. Also, I'm now able to complete my commission on Knock, which is good. Unfortunately, I don't have any other things that I can do. So I can try upgrading my Furtive Truths to Forgotten Chronicles, but as you can see, we're sort of struggling with our existing expeditions. So all right, let's add Alcaire. Got a sturdy principle, so that's edge 2. More delightful sacrament. I'll probably wind up studying that again, but I want to see. I really feel like I should be able to do more recruitment. Let's not do this delightful sacrament. Let's do the Make a Legion incantation. And I'm gonna throw 2 winter inside here. See if we can sneak by them. Gain restlessness, which I will try at combining with painting. Watcher's victory! They are more cunning and more numerous than we'd expected. Alright, I'm going to throw Victor in to bring us up to 11 edge. And I think I'm going to try upgrading my Grail. Alright, so I should be able to use Connie Lee for this. Now that means, of course, that I'm going to want to do another capture. Detectives back. Sold a painting. I mean, it's better than nothing, but... Logistical difficulty. Supplies are low. Unless I send more funds, we will have to abandon the expedition. So I'll throw some more money at the problem. The real question here is whether or not I want to use Victor. I mean, at 20 seconds, I should be good. Now, I've got 2 glimmering. I think I'm gonna... Oh, 3 glimmering. Okay, I'm gonna make a run for getting that 4th level and boosting my vivid imagination. Ah! I may not be able to do that because I'm studying. Ah, here we go. Okay, so it's my skill that I need to do. You never know, this might be a living. Add passion to make distinctive paintings, add mystique to, and especially notoriety to attract attention and make more money. Be careful, if you use notoriety, exhibiting paintings will keep you in the public eye. Art or bread, art or bread. I don't think I have any reputation to throw into it, so we'll throw all of our passion into it. Oh, and inspiration. What can I use as inspiration? I can use lore, acquaintances, influence. I'll use a forgotten chronicle. Those who know will understand, as will the Suppression Bureau. Alright, the Watchers aren't ready for us. We should be able to bring them down. Alright. Case of mistaken identity. This isn't who you hope for after all. They're no one in particular importance, and eventually they'll pass from your memory. Perhaps there is no one else available that you'd care to meet. Bad news for me. So let's think how I'm going to deal with HR problems. Oh, well, I can summon creatures to deal with those problems. I'm gonna add another silent disciple because I would really like to use Victor to deal with the weary detective. Hopefully that will translate into a kidnapping rather than a death, and I will be able to use him. Red need. Thirst for blood only. If only it were so simple, I will drain them more deeply. Hang on. Did I not just... Ugh. I thought I just used... I thought I just used Connie for that very purpose. I could spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find some more exotic pigments. I'm just going to use money on this for now. That's a shame. I wonder if this will go down to 3. If it does, that's going to be a little frustrating. The treasure lies before us. Blood pumps bright and then dark. They should not have opposed us. We move on. Okay, so that paid off. Yeah, it consumes passion, unfortunately. We'll see if it falls down to level 3. Exceptional work. There is something special. I may provoke a reaction. My recent work is considered significant. I may yet earn a living from this, but nothing is certain. Okay, so some mystiques, some glimmering. Ooh, that's actually... that'll be helpful for study in a minute. My passion clearly exhausted. Still have a vivid imagination. And... funds. Alright, so I have other means of making... of paying the bills. I've definitely been falling to a lower level as far as my finances, though, so I need to get that a little bit more, I need to get that in order. My research needs erudition, which I don't have, and I'm not likely to upgrade that, but I'll live with it. So yeah, we're really losing numbers. I don't know if I want to be going on these, I don't know if I want to be going on any of these quests. Okay, so let's see. We're back to level 3, so I'm going to basically need a whole stack of corpses to get through that. Fair enough. I have got so much glimmering. This is ridiculous. My minion is returned with a trophy. A little late for that, Victor, but thanks. Oh, do I have a heart still? I do. So, Leo. Charm. Not everyone is sympathetic to our aims, but we have problems with our reputation. Disciple can probably smooth them over. Interesting. Okay. The succulent lore. I've increased my mastery of the succulent lore, which we call by its aspect grail. Okay, so I've gained the Thakic invocation. Raucous shrieks attend the passage of the names of the grail. We reproduce them as best as we can for the pulsing power they lend. Use this with Byzantine Tinct and a Moth influence, or use the resources of equal power to summon a raw prophet. Cool. So Byzantine Tinct has the aspect of knock, so that's similar to what we were talking about before. Gain some notoriety, Silent Disciples back, Violet's back, Volcara's back, Eldridge is Edge, Tristan is Forge. Oh, did I lose one of my... No, he's here. We've got an account of Kanshik at the Spider's Door. Locke Coley, Kanshik's victim and lover, wrote this account, perhaps posthumously. Oh, apple green paint marks ritual circles on the rock. The remains of sacrifices past squelch beneath our feet as we search the shrine. In a little hollow in the throne rests an oiled bundle of treasures. Got a treatise on the underplaces. Here in the 17th century mystic and antiquarian Claude Hirschelt describes the bounds or underplaces on the borders of a dream. He warns that they shift over time. And the world does not weep. Brown Joshua found in a well in Hamath. There's an unlikely story that it was abandoned by Alexander during his retreat from Issus. And this is, I think, in Sanskrit, Aramaic, so I can't translate that. That's also in Aramaic. Can't translate that. So I've only got one book I can study. The Walls of the Mansus, Hirschelt begins with the size of starlight. Many of his directions are equally unhelpful, but common relationships do emerge. Okay. I wish there was a way that I could, like, cause this thing to... work. Right of the Watchman's sorrow. This rite recalls the loss of the watchman who walks the house with no light. Like, I don't think I want to sacrifice any of the lore that I can actually use this with. I don't think I want to. Sadly, I don't have any prisoners, and I'm short on manpower, so I don't think I want to do that. We'll see what happens to the... Alright, so I don't think I have any influence right now. That seems to be the best, option, so if I have a... Oh, no, can't do that. Aren't I supposed to be able to, like, use a corpse? I'm supposed to be able to raise a corpse with a certain ritual. Alright. Either I don't have the right ritual, or I don't have... Hello, Freighter 5. Either I don't have the right ritual, or I misunderstood the one. How's Constantine doing? Constantine is losing followers, but is much further than I've gotten in other cases. I wonder if I'll have enough glimmering to be able to upgrade my vivid imagination. This is an influence I can use. Let's try that again. Alright, doesn't seem to be anything I can do with that. I'm a little curious what I can do with... Ooh, I need to remember too if I want... okay, well... There are many possibilities here. If I add Moth, I might contact something shapeless. If I add Forge, I might contact a seductive savage power. Summon one of the more bewildering creatures of the Red Grail. Grail for the raw profit source. Add a little Moth for its chaos addiction. Okay, so that's a really powerful... Yeah, but I need more power. I don't think I really want to give up this much Grail for the summoning, though. So let's see what some of our other options are. We found an interesting combination. I need to think a little bit about what I can pull off with this. All right, so the edge needs some kind of influence. Okay, so I think this is my best argument for going into the dreams again, because that's a really good way to get influence. If I add Knock, you might be able to do a summoning. Edge, you can try to conquer your passion with reason, and if you add Winter, you can attempt Foolish Beautiful Magic. We'll maybe avoid the Winter for now, but I feel like we can add Knock. If you add Edge, bring something from behind mirrors, and if you add Forge, you can contact something incandescent. Well, what do we have available to us is the big question. Lantern? Yeah, I don't think any of these are going to accomplish what I want. Oh, no. Found a useful conjunction of aspects to call forth this monstrous, if affectionate entity. I will need significant intensity of Grail and a little Moth or Knock. All right. Drat. I'm just kind of curious what prompts it gives me when I do some of these things. Yeah, okay, so it's the influence that's keeping me back. Good to know. That's fairly easy to deal with. So let's go through the stag door first. I am ultimately looking to see if I can increase the my lantern. But again, because influence is holding me back, the stag door is the adept's gate. To pass through it is to be initiated into the first true mystery of the House of the Sun. The headgear bee weeps to see me enter where it cannot, but it must let me pass. The scarred valves of the door grind open. Earnest speeches, affable conversation. The standards of daylight society cannot apply to us. but perhaps we won't emphasize the point. Perhaps we'll rely on charm and good humor. I've supplied elegant platitudes about the high principles of our organization. Cool, okay, so I have unlocked a whole new world of possibilities because I forgot that if I put my cult as a conversation option, my cultists actually have other powers. Okay, so that heart trick that you did was cool, Leo. Let's see about some of the other things people can do. Well, I'm pretty sure I know what Edge is going to do. Abduct a stranger. Yep. Skilled disciple can probably abduct an unwary victim. Works for me. Okay, picturesque account of a journey through nightmare interspersed with what might be partial rites. The 18th ascent is the bud. On the 36th ascent, the blossom. So this is good news. I'll be able to combine those. The real tragedy is I have lost the glimmering I needed to do the upgrades, so we will... Oh, and I really should have got some more commissions, but we'll live with it. Okay, so I can get 6 Forge, Possibility Sparks, 6th Order Influence, the signs are unmistakable, this can be used in some rites to summon minions. Let's see what we get. So, Gearby was weeping again, I scooped up his molten tears in my cupped palm. In the dream, my skin peeled and blistered, but only in the dream. Okay. I'm gonna go straight back through the stag door because I want all the influence. Let's see what we can do here. So, summon something. Nope, I'm probably not going to be able to do much with Knock. There are possibilities here. If I had Winter, I might contact something smoky. If I had Lantern, I might contact an incandescent power. Well... a mighty creature from the Forge of Days. You'll need great power of the Forge, significant power of Knock, and some Lantern. So I probably would have been able to do this if I didn't try to upgrade that. So my Locksmith Secret's a bit weak. Let's see what else we can... Oh, I forgot about the Winged Doll. Let's not be too hasty. Okay. Nothing too special here then. So... I mean... yeah, it's a little much to ask for though, so... I think it basically has to be 3 different things. I don't think you can get enough different aspects. This is actually not what the game is intended to do, so I should probably stop that. Okay, let's think. Ideally grade, Forge's Redemption. The Forge of Days destroys and renews. I will invoke it with the Grail to renew my failing flesh with forbidden magics. You are calling only a minor degree of Forge, and this will often fail. Increase your Forge to at least 10. Okay, so that looks like it's a healing spell. I will try each of the aspects just because I'm kind of curious. Okay, so that doesn't seem to be doing anything interesting. So it says if I add Lantern. Yeah. It says no real possibilities here. Okay, so basically my only option is to bring in either Knock. So the other way I can bring in Knock would be through the invocation, and the way I can add Lantern would be through here. But I need significant Knock, which means that I kind of have the requirements, but yeah, so I'm generally getting this. It's going to be a bit of a juggling act though, so we'll see how well I can manage. And if I were to... I think if I were to have my desire trigger, I wouldn't get anything. Uncover sites in the Shires that feature in the histories. So really reluctant to do this, but old nooks remain in the quiet countryside, here and there for those who know where to look. So I'm just going to get a few locations up because that's really how I'm going to get more lore. It's an aspect of history. Alright, so more trembling heat, not too useful to me, so let's go to the Painted River and we get another Forbidden Epic. A pity we couldn't get the Furious Air because that would have been pretty good, but I can live with that result too. Oh, I should have read the... Well, actually I've read that text before, so... And it looks like it's looking for erudition, which I don't have available at the moment. So, attempting my abduction, my minion has returned with a carefully packaged prisoner. Alright. I want to get a reserve of these things. This place merits closer investigation. So we'll take a Forgotten Chronicle and see what comes up there. This time my research has failed, but I've learned lessons from the experience. So this is the point. Obviously, if I had that lore, I would be able to do something about it. But in this case, we're actually going to jump straight back in. If it doesn't turn out, so be it. It's very unlikely that it'll work because I don't have any glimmering now. But I'd rather keep the timers running. So this is also an aspect moth, which is good to know. In fact, let's take a minute here and see what I can do with my fleeting memory. Not much. I thought I had better forge than this, but... So I can get a Forgotten Chronicle, but let's keep... Oh, Fascination. Not my favorite to get. So we're exploring the continent, little wars, great intrigues, cryptic priesthood. This place merits. This is the Chateau Raveline. The favorite stories from the Comte de Raveline claim that they descend from the first Sun King. Other stories have them prowling the forest in wolf shape. They are long gone. Their rotting chateau remains. Not all its malignities have been uncovered. Okay, let's get my avid disciple searching the city for things. I think we'll get some hired help. And I feel like I need to be paying a little bit more attention to my finances. We're in okay shape right now. But that can change, and change pretty rapidly. I also need to think a bit about... Oh yeah, so there are things that are happening, so we'll try this again. If I bring it with knock, oh, there are possibilities here. If I had Grail, I might contact something shapeless. Well, I believe I can get Grail from the Whispering Amulet. And in this case, significant intensity of Grail and a little of Moth and Knock. So my Fascination isn't enough to carry the day. But if I need Moth and Knock, so I've got Moth here, I can get my Knock here, And I should be able to add this grail. Here we go. Summon one of the more bewildering creatures of the Red Grail. Grail for the raw profit source, and a little moth is for chaos addiction. So this will give me a fresh new supply of hired help. I await word. My minion has returned with a carefully packaged prisoner. So I want a few of these. To satisfy this hunger. I found someplace unusual. Alright, so I'm going to explore the crap out of this. Explore the uncanny tangle of streets by the light of the moon. Streets are strange in the hour called Metascate. Alright, once this is done and I have 3 prisoners, what I'm going to wind up doing... And see, the neat thing here, now that I've sort of got this loop in place in terms of... I'm able to take... So once upon a time, fascination was a big problem for me. Like, I would need to dedicate things to cancel them out. But what's neat about this is I'm actually taking negative aspects of myself and I'm using them to bring things through. And I like that idea a lot. I mean, again, if you want to take this idea of, you know, the cult being this great work that you want to accomplish in your own life, again, the book, the game, the play, the paper, you know, you take elements of your life, positive and negative, to realize them. And so it's a really creative and intriguing way. And obviously this is very different from the way that I was playing the game, you know, a couple of months before, because now, as you've been able to see over these broadcasts, I'm starting to get some ideas. What if I try these things here? I know I need some knock. I know I need some grail. I'm going to do this. I haven't actually been taking notes during the game, because, you know, I can do that later. Like right now, I just kind of want to drink it all in. But you can notice, like, the experimentation here, sometimes it's a little bit like, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna tool around and, like, put these things together and hope something happens. But in, you know, in reality, what I'm, like, now, it's a little bit more, okay, I have these little fragments, I'm gonna try and push this in a slightly different direction, or it's like, this is what I have to hand. And so what's the point of notes? Well, it's mostly just so you can kind of keep it all in your head. Like, I don't remember exactly what all the combinations are. I feel that Grail and Knock is a pretty good combo. But that's partially just because I saw that in the book, right? And I'm sure, again, it's cool as it is to keep it in your mind. Like, there's stuff you need to, like, you know, I need to keep statistical procedures in my head as well. Miss Ariella, great to see you again. How are you doing? Thank you very much for that tweet the other day. Alright, subtle rupture. Geometry contorts, doors burst open, snakes boil from the earth. A 10th order influence, a gathering knot of power and peril. This can be used in some rites to summon minions. Let's see what we can do with the subtle rupture. In sleep, I ran my fingers along the rigid edges of the stag's door scar. Our company it was that shattered it, Garby says suddenly, before the gods who were flesh. The Mansus was forbidden to mortals. We were the first no. He begins again to weep his molten tears. I wish that we had not. I wish that I had died in the world. I have forgotten what else he said, but I remember the shape of the fissures in the stag door. And for all of today, doors will fear my touch. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Miss Ariella. I hope you feel better soon, though. We are making some reasonable progress in Cultist Simulator, so against my better judgment, I am going to attempt to go through the stag door again. Obviously, I don't get, you know, I'm going to need to finish this ritual first. I don't get, like, an unlimited supply of opportunities to do this stuff, but again, it's a good one. I'm going to have some chances to do interesting things, so... And obviously, I'm going through the uncanny tangle of streets by the light of the moon, so. I think I'm also going to be able to use this fast... Oh. Alright, Dr. Natalia Dragon. She was laughed out of academia for her analyses of alternate histories, and it only made her more resolute. She now works with the Suppression Bureau. So she's meticulous, she's an idealist. I'm might be able to capture her, but I'd prefer to use, oh, I got contentment, which is influence of heart, and lantern. That's good to know. We'll keep searching this out. Summoning a rebellious spirit. The summoning is struggling against my control. I could use reason to dismiss it safely, or I could try to reassert control with passion, or I could let what will happen, happen. Contending for mastery. The things from outside the world have many weapons, knives and riddles, fire and despair. I have weapons of my own. And I don't have any erudition, so with one, probably not gonna happen. And we're attempting another abduction again. Hopefully the temptation triggers before. All right, so we've got a subtle fracture. Mastery regained. I'm succeeding. Now the drawback here is we may not have this subtle rupture in time. That's horrifying, Sid. Alright, so we've gained a raw profit. My summoning will obey my wishes for now. Sometimes it divides, sometimes it unites, sometimes she speaks words of warning, sometimes she advises on appetite. Its prophecies are confusion, their whispers confound. So this is level 8 Moth and Grail. Aspect Deceiver. If this breaks free, it may try to drive you or your followers to insanity. It counts as a follower, and it is summoned. So I'm mildly curious if they become an assistant to a ritual. So we'll start by trying the knife's edge, because I've got a powerful aspect here. All right, so there are many possibilities here. If I add Moth, I might contact something shapeless. If I add Forge, I might contact a seductive savage power. Do I have Forge? I do have Moth. So that's one of the more bewildering. Yeah, so we've already got the creatures from the Red Grail. I'm okay there. So with that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by instruments, because this is what I have immediately available. So there are possibilities here. If I add Edge, I may bring something from behind mirrors. If I add Forge, I might construct find something incandescent. So Forge, not quite enough. I need some Lantern and a great power of Forge. All right, so no luck there. And Knife, I suspect, or Edge, I suspect, will be the same problem. Significant intensity of a Lantern and a little knock and Edge. Okay. I can, however, put this in its right place. So with the Whispering Amulet, it was... I mean, I'll still try with it, but possibilities here if you add Grail, something shapeless. Yeah, so I think that's going to be the same as if I do... Yeah, so it's sort of the same either way. And for Edge, it's something irrepressible. Winter, you might summon up one of the dead, so one of the voiceless dead, which we've sort of already done. And Edge, a creature of the Thunderskin. I found a useful conjunction of aspects, but you need more power to call forth this merry, ceaseless, merciless thing. You'll need significant intensity of heart and a little knock or edge. All right. So if I tried that, no, but I don't have. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go for. Yeah, this is our only option, so we'll go for another raw profit. Whether or not that's wise is another question. Alright, so I was ill. I was going to use my health here. Our minion is returned with a carefully packed prisoner. Alright, so we've got a nice collection of prisoners to help us out. So I'm going to try some other things now. So I know what Edge can do here. I'm not going to worry about the good doctor yet. So we've got Forge. Let's see what happens when I chat with somebody who's got the Forge. Significant conversations in smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? Oops, back in the Mansis. Okay, so the Trembling Heat. I think I'm going to skip that for now. Let's go back to the Ascent of Knives. And we've got the Urgency of Appetite. This is going to be interesting. Oh god, I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Oh yeah, eventually I should get back to some commissions as well. I'm just having too much fun with my rituals that I'm neglecting my life, but I also was a former board member at Glover & Glover, so affords me some perks. Okay, occult business with a follower. Here we go. My discipline can probably earn funds in illegal laboratories and shadow manufactories, but there's a risk of accidents. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Okay, I've gained more fascination, which is not necessarily good, but we can always turn that into summoning. Sick, but we will have that dealt with in 30 seconds. Unfortunately, the Urgency of Appetite and the Subtle Fracture probably won't get anything done in time. I think I will do... well, we'll wait. I'm probably going to have to resist... the creature's probably going to resist me, so I'll probably have to deal with that. Alright, Subtle Fracture. We'll explore this again. Yeah, so we will put some passion towards the great work. And we will deal with my affliction, hopefully in time to use my erudition to study the lore that opens. My main reason for that is just to give me some more options for summonings. Whether or not that works, we'll see. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to use the raw profit for a... I'm first going to use a raw profit for an expedition. Summoning a breach, it's free! My summoning has escaped my control, where it'll wreak havoc, no doubt. Whoops. Alright. So even my use of passion wasn't enough to pull that off. So I think with the... let's just double check. Yeah, with the fascination I don't have what I need. My followers returned empty-handed. Today's tasks were beyond them. Okay. Wait, where'd Neville go? Did I lose Neville again? I didn't use him in anything. Oh, actually, before I do anything, let's get some commissions done. Oh yes, and all right, Rite of the Crucible Sill. So, raw profit. Okay, so that's another summoning. That's not too interesting. Forge's Redemption. With at least five Forge and 1 Grail, I could use the forbidden procedure known as Forge Redemption to return decrepitude to health. Cool, but okay. Passion's gyre. As below, so above, passion and reason contend in the human soul. As the wood engulfs the glory's light, the ecstatic principle will transform reason to passion. Yeah, don't want to do that. So it seems, infuse a corpse with the power of the ring you, with a little more winter aspect, a little more moth, and a corpse. I might create a cunning servant. Well, last I checked, I wasn't able to put a corpse there. I think he has, Sin. Alright, so what we'll do instead, we'll see what we can do combining our instruments. It may be nothing. Alright, so if I want to do that, I'm basically summoning the same creature again, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, so this particular creature is not too helpful for me in the Rite of the Crucible Soul. And if I sacrifice knowledge... Oh! The Lurking Devourer, you escaped summoning haunts to the district, seeking mortals to devour. So it's consuming Neville. That's where Neville went. Sorry, Neville. Okay, well, let's, seeing as I can't do anything with the raw profit, let's see what I can get done with my fascination. Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong? And we'll prepare for the expedition. In this case, I'll bring a sturdy disciple, raw profit, and some money. Maybe, I mean, maybe he'll manage. Alright, he wants a commission on Lantern, at least level 4, so we'll be okay for that. And Count Jannings. Would like a very substantial commission on Heart. Okay, using reason. Against my better judgment, I am going to try bringing another body in. Hey, Neville's okay! Sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. The expedition continues. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send in another follower. Good question. Let's add a... What are we potentially up against? A warded door, an engineer, or an adept who has ensured this door will not open easily. Forge or knock will defeat it. Well, we've got a surplus of forge, so we'll throw forge at the problem. Neville's fine, Sin. He's fine. He's a survivor. He survives things. Alright. Yes, I reassert control with my passion. Oh, our tools are ready. We should be able to penetrate the warded door. Well, just in case, we'll add Enid. Well, actually, hang on. Let's not do that. Let's actually just go all in on the forge. That seems to be a slightly more logical. We'll almost certainly shatter this warded door. Yeah, so I should really just double down on something like that. I think I'm gonna abduct another person after this, just in case I get hungry. I hope I get a book for translation. That would be nice. My summoning has escaped my control, where it will wreak havoc, no doubt. Alright, so I'm thinking the lesson here is you can't have more than one. think that's my... Oh no, I have a winter, so... Alright, well, in the meantime, let's fulfill some commissions. Police are on to me. Okay, so we've got a Forgotten Chronicle, which I won't worry about. Let's go back to the Painted River. Well, I mean, Forbidden Epic's not too bad. So there's going to be some evidence after me. I think Moth might be able to get rid of that because it's deception. All right. Treasures lie before us. All doors must open and all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. I'm going to leave this empty just to see what happens. And a lurking devourer, the thing you conjured is returned to its own place. It will do you no more harm for now. And it seems like all care is safe. Alright, so we're gonna leave the beings from another world alone for the time being. But I am gonna go through the door. Well, okay. I'm gonna start the path through the door. However, I'm gonna wait until I have a little bit more reason because I've been using it for... Oh, hang on. This is... Yeah, no, this is reason. I've been using quite a bit of reason lately, so I kind of need to... I need to make sure I'm okay. That's exactly why I didn't use that reason. So we're at least guaranteed to upgrade the knock, which is nice because that should open us up for some more... that should open us up for some more exploration. I believe that means I'm not going to be able to... So unless, like... Unless I get more lantern, which I'm not going to, I believe this means that I'm actually just going to go back to the world of Dream. Okay, so the commission's taken care of. I think I'm going to fulfill these commissions before I do another abduction. Level 4 knock, which we're currently using. Level 6 heart, which I can do. Oh, but that's going to take too much reason, so I cannot fulfill those works for now. So instead we'll talk to Dr. Adim, and we'll sell some stuff. Warrior's End. It's almost possible to stand upright in... it's almost possible to stand upright in this place, but the air is foul and our lamps burn low. Here is the warrior king staked out on the funeral stone, his bones smashed to keep him from walking. The orbits of his skull are bound with bronze. I've got some reason, but I'm gonna hang on. Oh, actually, I can use that reason for my ascent, so that's good news. Others have been here before us. Power still lingers, and no doubt it will be used in their ceremonies. They have taken some of the warrior king's funeral treasures, but left something of their own. So, Tristan, what aspect were you again? You were Forge. That's some good Forge work, sir. We've gained an icy atmosphere, so I'll be sure to try a ritual. We've got some notoriety. Laidlaw was 4. I messed it up. Okay, money is always good. Got a raw profit back. Sturdy disciple. Bone flute. Cool. Okay, so that's going to be a somewhat high aspect of winter. The Book of the Centipede. The mid-1860s when Madame Yi presented an entertainment base she claimed on this book. So I believe that is Greek. Yes. And the Fire Circle Tantra, the one known extant copy of this in Western Europe, was stolen from the British Library in 1892 when Harvey Hattington confessed to the crime and claimed to have eaten it with butter and garlic in a moment of ungovernable whimsy. I believe that's Sanskrit, yes. Okay, so priorities, I'm going to try to use the icy atmosphere to see what I can accomplish with that. I think I'm going to get some evidence which is coming up after me. I have some fascination which I need to get rid of, ideally with dread or contentment, I believe. Yes? No, only dread. Which I can get through dreaming, I think. So, in the meantime, do I want to go on another expedition right away? I think the answer is yes, but I want to see what I can do with the aspect of winter first. Okay, Winter is the aspect of silence, of endings, and of those things that are not entirely dead. If I add knock, I might be able to attempt a summoning. If I add lantern, I can attempt foolish, beautiful magic. And again, as tempting as it is, I need at least 10 winter. Well, Sun and Rags brings beautiful endings. This sudden and perilous magic will end someone or something, but it's impossible to know what. It will also kill any mortal or spirit that assists with the ritual. You are calling on a major degree of winter, and so this will probably succeed. Call on at least 15 winter to increase your chances further, although it might be safer if it fails. So again, super tempting to do this, but the only thing I want dead is this investigator. There are possibilities here if you add edge, heart, or forge. Okay, so what we're gonna do instead, we'll get rid of the bone flute. So heart summons the voiceless dead. I need significant forge, which I don't have. I found a useful conjunction of aspects, but I need more power to call forth this chilly and shining thing. I need very significant intensity of winter and a little knock and edge. So unfortunately, I don't quite have what it takes. Infuse a corpse with the power of the ring. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Thank you very much, Ariella. Sorry I didn't have a little bit more to show you. I'm still learning the game myself, so I hope you get better, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, so in this case, I think I don't think I have any edge here. Oops. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite able to do what I want with this winter aspect, but so I've had the bone flute. Well, I'll have the knock in a minute, so let's simmer down for a bit. Okay, so bronze. Again, if I need the money, I can start selling this stuff off, but we're still in double digits, so I'm okay. Gain some mystique. No reason, though, so... Oh, and we're not done the research yet. So, you know what? We're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add the knock this time, just in case, and we'll fill it with money. And unfortunately, all my reason is occupied, so I'm gonna need some time. Okay, so subtle rupture. Let's see what we can do with that. I feel like I've already tried this, and it didn't quite turn out for me. Also, in the meantime, I think I'm gonna try and get another abduction done, because I think these are going to expire before too long. And I'm sorry to spend so much time paused on these, but seeing as I'm actually making some progress... Okay, so if we do edge... Not enough. Yeah, I'll work with that. Oh, I'm an idiot. All right. I gotta throw the raw profit in as soon as I can. We prepare for the descent. We bring rope, tools, light. We arm ourselves against anything down there that may yet move. So we've got the fretful dead. Not all the dead rest easy. These ones dislike our intrusion. We can prevail against them with edge, or they may obey one who comes in the name of winter. And then treacherous ground, which I believe we will use forge to overcome. Alright, all shall be opened. When we open a thing, then we learn its nature. I've deepened my understanding of the lore which opens, which we call by the aspect knock. So we have gained a consent of wounds. To open certain ways, one must first open oneself. This practice outlines that opening, the name of the mother of ants. Nearly every summoning rite requires knock influence. This lore will provide it. So we've made some progress. We're now going to be able to do, I think, all of our... I'm pretty sure we can do all of our commissions. Okay, tentative evidence. I'll deal with that later because I don't think we've actually tried it, but I believe that will work with, sorry, I cannot speak English. I believe doing, taking a moth follower will help us with that. Okay, Dread's taken care of, which is good. Treacherous ground, sucking mud, tricky fissures, the earth is hungry. We need lantern to show us the way or forge to make one. Laidlaw, you're on deck again. Once I'm done my summoning, I should be good to do another commission. Nope. Oh, Course of the Heart. Whenever the principle of the heart is implicated, I gain vitality. Alright, so Voiceless Dead is on the board. That is Winter. Okay, that's actually going to be helpful on our expedition. Is there anything cool I can do right now with... I want to see if I can use my contentment in a ritual. One cannot earn a living by being happy, but happiness may be something to cling to when the night closes around me. I don't think it'll tell me anything until I'm sure the lantern and the heart will be helpful in some kind of a ritual, but I'm not confident enough in my ability to combine them to do that. So instead, we will do Count Janning's commission on heart. Oh, and passion. Yeah, totally understandable, Ariella. Don't ever feel bad about taking some time for yourself. Save across the treacherous ground. We're mud-splattered and thorn-scratched, but we've made it through. So I think in this case, I'm going to use the Voiceless Dead, because they're the highest winter aspect that I can bring. Alright, I've prepared the text for study, and next up... I will use my Greek to translate Madame Yi's work. My minion is returned with a carefully packaged prisoner. I'll probably have to do that again, to be totally honest, but we'll hold off for a moment because I can't actually finish the... Okay, so what we'll do instead, we'll take one of these moth people. Moth people. I lost the moth person, didn't I? Well, crap. Oh no, there you are, Porter. Deal with the evidence, please. A disciple can probably use their talents to part fools from their treasures. Ah, well, perhaps not. Alright, so our expedition plans for the next challenge, which will be the Fretful Dead. And I think the Voiceless Dead can speak to them. I will do my best, the Eyes of Sin. This game hates me. I've got a whole stack of people to satisfy my hungers with, but the game doesn't want to proc the event. I'm on to you. Okay, let's do our knock commission. What aspect would I be? Lantern. That's why it's the best one. Call upon the ivory dove who cannot be deceived. The dead watch us closely, expressionless as saints' statues, but we are invested with the power of winter. Probably the dead will recognize that and will bring all care. The dead circle the edge of our vision like frayed dreams. The very air around us is chill with winter's shadow. They must recognize that. Alright, so we've got our text taken care of. I don't think there's any other upgrades I can do at the moment, so the best use of study at the moment will be to... I'll start by reading the Fire Circle Tantra. Herein the great hooded princes are shown beseeching the wood to rise and devour an invading Timrid army. The Dapple King, the Honey Tree, the Sea Twins all deny their request until they enlist the help of a burrowing secret keeper. The dead draw back, their almost faces flat and watchful. They will not trouble us. Ah, read! Read, you fool! Yeah, I'm gonna need to kidnap someone quick. Okay, so... sexual deception, here are the rewards. Okay, so Porter didn't quite do what I expected. We do have some funds, and apparently a jumble? Old clothes, near worthless accessories, but I might pick up a few pennies somewhere. Little use to me. Okay, well, as much as I want to deal with that tentative evidence... Oh, you know what? It's a nuisance. That's probably what I need to do. I do feel like I need to get another prisoner, so we'll talk with Victor. Please abduct someone good. And I regain my reason and passion. We're good for commissions. I'm eventually actually going to need to, like, give these to people, but... And this one was level 6, so I'm not actually able to do the Forge one yet, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. And I have so much notoriety, there's no possibility of me going back to Glover and Glover, so... we won't give anything else to the expedition because I should be good to go. I think I'm probably going to go to... Oh, you know what? I have not been using these in my rituals. And they're pretty powerful. So I must keep that in mind. I actually think I'm going to send Victor to get another body right away. She'll be done in a little bit. Okay, so, armed with the blackmail material from the burrowing secret keeper, the great hooded princes petition the powers of the wood for a second time, and they are successful. 1/4 of the Timrid army is devoured by the bees, 1/4 drowns themselves, and another quarter disrobe themselves until nothing remains. That is a horrifying concept. Well done. Alright, so this is a pretty powerful aspect which I think might be able to take me elsewhere. And I was wrong. So instead we will employ some reason to make the ascent. And I will use the Book of the Centipede. The Centipede always found her way into the dark places. When she was punished for it, she reacted badly. And the Mansis, as in Maya. Alright, so we got some stuff, so everybody survived. I think I'm starting to get the hang of expeditions. My notoriety is through the roof. Laidlaw. some good work there. Still have the raw prophet. We've got a dexterous disciple and a sturdy disciple. Spinitra, which I didn't really need. The encircling tantra, so more success. Oop. I can't remember what that was, but I'm pretty sure that string shouldn't be there. I'm pretty sure from that title they'll be able to know which one I used, though. In Leadline's sarcophagus, there lies a skeleton of a woman. She wasn't buried here. It looks like she crawled in to die. Something has happened in the shape of her skull, pushing out the jaw like the muzzle of a beast. Scraps of rotting linen swathe her bones. Treasures lie among the remains of her clutching hands between her ribs. And the Twin Serpent Tantra. Tantra shrouded in particular obscurity. Okay, so good haul. I think we're going to go straight to the Chateau Reveline, and the reason for that is, as much as I would love to go to Oriflamme's to get some more money, the Raw Prophet is going to be done in a bit. So I'm going to throw the Raw Prophet and the Voiceless Dead in, and if it seems like it's something a little too overwhelming for me, I can always back off. But notice these are some pretty powerful stats here, so we'll see what comes of it. And yeah, I'm going to send Victor for 2 more corpses. Expedition continues our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. We can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So we've got a hidden door, which will probably... Yeah, lantern. Hidden doors can be found with lantern or knock. Dry soul curse, we need heart or lantern to suppress the curse. Otherwise, it will not keep us from our goal, but may trouble us later. So really, knock is what I need here. Well, actually, I can put heart. Okay, so I'll put knock to begin with, and I'll put heart next. My minion has not returned. I'll never know exactly what happened. Bad luck. Because I'm not going to have any edge people left after this. But I'm not going to satisfy these hungers at the current rate, so... I suspect what's going to wind up happening is I'm going to have to start using summons. Alright, so we've got another subtle rupture, but I think we'll do the Ascent of Knives to see. Alright, urgency of appetite. So now would be a great time for that thing to proc, because I'm pretty sure I could... Oop. We call upon the beach crow who opens the earth. We're skilled at uncovering hidden ways. We'll probably find this hidden door. So we'll add Neville. Alright, so the Book of the Centipede. The river runs through the sands of the myth and into legend. The painted river runs the other way. One is barred to the centipede now, but she finds ways back in sometimes. So... Don't really need more secret histories, but we'll work with what we've got, and I'll use my Sanskrit to translate the encircling tantra. Oh. We better come back with a body or I am going to lose my mind. So hopefully the human corpse gets taken first. Excellent. Thirst for blood, if only it was so simple. I will drain them far more deeply. So it doesn't say... Alright, so it needs a poor lunatic, a prisoner, which this is, or a corpse. So as long as the subduction works, I should be able to get this to level 6. The expedition continues. Alright, so we'll get our aspect of heart going in here. Clovette, you're up. My minion is returned with a carefully packaged prisoner. Okay, so we might make some progress here. Notoriety through the roof. But I didn't lose my edge, which is good. We've got a little bit more money as we're picking people's pockets. So, what am I going to do about this? Let's talk to some people about their commissions. So, Count Jennings, do you like the book I made you? Oh, I am done. The satisfaction is deep as the moon and the sea. Another mark buds in me. I could have sworn before it wanted another one. Alright, well. I'll live with it. I've received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So I've got another glimmering, mystique. Jennings is on ice for a little bit. Poppy, do you like my commission on knock? We call upon the ring you which encompasseth. We carry enough heart aspect to quell the curse. Probably. Let's turn that into something a little bit more impressive. We are strong enough in heart to be secure against the curse. Alright, so erudition. Now would be a great time to improve some of my lore, but unfortunately I don't have anything that I quite want to upgrade. I guess I can take like the knife secret up, but I think it's better for me to research. Okay, that's good news. Again, hopefully it takes the lower time hapless prisoner. And he would like a level 6 secret histories, which I can produce right away. And it took another one. Oh no, it took the first one. Okay, we're getting tantalizingly close to achieving what we were setting out to do. Oh, sorry. That's right, I'm still working on the commission. Our power is stronger than the power that was here. The curse won't touch us. All right, so we should get some good loot, because this was a big big expedition. When I am done, the satisfaction is as deep as the moon in the sea. Another mark buds on me. So we now have 5 of this. Alright, so the Twin Serpent Tatra has now been translated. Now what I'm going to do, which I should have done a long time ago, was use this glimmering, which has been rotting. Oh. Alright. I think that's because I dropped it on the same thing, but feed my imagination fiercer. He who desires but acts not breeds pestilence. So again, if I was going to be combining lore, that might be a problem, but I'm okay with this outcome. We've got time for our hapless prisoner, so hopefully this procs before too long. And, yeah, treasure lies before us. I'm going to lose my creatures, which is a shame. I rather wish I could get rid of the development console. Oh, that's new. I'm gonna mess around with this on another day. I have a feeling either I wasn't supposed to see that, or I'm just really trying to get rid of this console. But okay. we'll let that run. Let's go through the stag door again. I don't see any reason not to, because I'm going to be wanting to summon things. And what else? I do eventually want to use some of these to go on expeditions again, but I think we'll start selling some stuff at Oriflamme's just to get us above. Oh, here we go. Close. Wasn't paying attention. And conversation-wise, I don't know what else I want to do. I mean, I can try to use Porter to destroy this evidence, but I already have a get-out-of-jail-free card, so putting him at risk doesn't strike me as a very smart idea right now. Alright, so... Revolt, Continent, 1 success. The last treasures of the Comtesse de Reveline lie here, in a surprisingly airy room. High skylight windows have long since broken, and the floor is lost underneath leaves and debris. Once the place was furnished as a nursery, here is a cradle with the skeleton of a puppy. Okay, so Leo was heart. We've gained notoriety because, of course. Clovette is also heart. Neville is knock. He's back safe and sound, Sin. You'll be happy to see. Voiceless Dead and the Raw Prophet are available, sadly. The Raw Prophet will not be available to me later. Vital Pigment is nice. I really should be focusing a bit more on painting, I think. The Silver Book, which is written in Fusine. Definitely can't handle that. And the Book of True Blood, a work by Cassius the Thoman, which is written in Latin, and I can translate. So, an okay haul. Let's explore the Forbidden... I'm only going to do one Forbidden Epic, because I feel like I can kind of combine the two and see what goes on. Those stories that have been forbidden are the ones most apt for us to read, William Gore. Oh, and before I get rid of this, let's speak to something I've summoned. Not everything from the Mantis can speak, but everything can understand mortal speech, even when it is past the white door. Let's talk about this evidence. Send a devious minion to destroy the evidence. My scheme will most likely succeed. There's always a chance that something will go awry. Well, you know what? I am totally okay with that. I've got a wild imagination. I've been known to break 6 pencils a day, use this with work to paint, or study with 6 glimmering to gain more passion. Cool! So, skill scholarship. Use this as 4 erudition to gain more reason. Okay, nothing too exciting there. I've gone strong as smith or soldier, so presumably... Oh, apparently I can talk about scholarship. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm not getting any better at that. I'm gonna need a lot of vitality. I've grown strong. I must still devote my health to a day's work. Arms of iron. I will work with speed and in silence. I don't fear injury. Okay, so that's cool. And I can only speak. Okay, good to know. Let's read the Encircling Tantra. The Encircling Tantra speaks of the Serpent Gate, that hungry portal, sometimes known as the Spider's Door, which is sacred to the Mother of Ants, and through which the great hooded princes pass. You know, a sneaky thing here, I can probably keep using this summon. Oh! Things are happening! So this hapless prisoner is going to be consumed. Let's go up the Painted River. I gained some erudition, nothing too special, but I'll work with what I've got. So this should bring us up to level 6, which is quite tantalizing. And the nice thing is, because I've sent the Raw Prophet, this should be done in time for me to go on that next expedition. And we're actually at time, but I'm going to the Cave of Candles. Every 7th sunset, the cunning man comes from a village below to renew the candles. The floor of the entrance chamber is slick of stinking wax. He claims the light keeps the creature below cowed, but more likely the sacrifices he brings keep it too sated to emerge. Alright, well that's terrifying, but we'll work with it. Okay, so I'm now level 6. The 6th mark is identified as the point when I am a handspan taller. I swell in every member and direction. My skin is radiant velvet. Pits of flesh cushion my eyes. I am very thirsty. So let's see what we can do here. The Rite of the Watchman's Sorrow. So if I put my desire here, the 7th mark. The 7th mark is the Feast of the True Birth. I am close, close as blood to the heart. I will need all the power of the Grail I can muster to at least the 36th degree of intense... Holy smokes! I don't even have any Grail disciples left. Oh, this is horrifying. I'm not even close. Okay, so 36th degree of intensity. This will probably go up to 16? Yeah, so not having... Okay, so a big influence will help. Yeah, so basically I need 12 in each of these slots. All right, well, now I have my target. The only other option would be the Rite of the Crucible Soul, but for that I would need to give up... Ah, well, this is Grail 8, so I'd be able to put that... Ah, okay, I get it. So I need to summon a powerful Grail spirit. I need to have like a top level Grail influence, and I need to find an artifact. I need to find an artifact of sufficient power to complete that ritual. Okay, I have my game plan. We'll probably do that next week. Actually, this is really exciting because it's possible that if I'm able to achieve these goals, that we will beat the game the last possible day before it's released on stream. Alright, the Tantra includes an invocation, but cautions, helpfully, that the invocation is of insufficient power to reach the Serpent Gate from the Hunter's Gate, a road which has no destination and is itself a destination. It adds helpfully. Okay, so we know that if we combine the Consent of Wounds, we haven't got our way to the Serpent Gate yet, but we know that we need Knock to access that, which is good. That's good information. We'll hang out here because I think I need to do another expedition to... I'll use these guys for one more expedition. That's about as much as I can get out of them. And here, I'm actually going to combine 2 Forbidden Epics to get an even scarier destination. As far as work, I have no work that I can do. My minion has returned, the evidence has been destroyed, I am much safer. Okay, let's go to the Cave of Candles. And we'll use the Raw Prophet and the Voiceless Dead. And we'll put some money in there, and I really need to go to Oriflamme's after this. The ascent to the cave through the high passes will be dangerous. Whatever waits in the darkness below is probably more dangerous still. Expeditions need at least 1 funds per obstacle. Followers will defeat obstacles. If you run out of funds or followers, the expedition ends. The expedition continues. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It'll consume funds. I can add funds now, or I could send in another follower. So we've got the younger system. The mother of ants was born among serpents. She has so many very younger sisters. She can be defeated in battle or will respond to the mother's power. So that's going to be knock. The high passes. Bleak and green-gray slopes lift the eye to a distant snow-edged, sky-straining peaks. It'll be a devil of a job to find anything here. Forge will sustain us. Winter will shield us. Now we have... we have more forge than anything. So we'll start with that. And then we'll add knock if we run into the serpents. Let's go through the stag door again, because if I can get a cool influence, then... Oh, and while we're at it, Poppy, let's have a chat about a commission. We call upon the Madrigard who quells and quiets. The Madrigard is strong in winter. Probably she will keep us warm from avalanches. Ah, actually, that was dumb of me. I should have brought Alcaire. The hour called Madrigard is at home in the cold. She will keep us from falling. Yeah, so I should have looked at the aspect of winter. Notice 11 isn't guaranteeing a success anymore. So that's gonna be a challenge. Okay, so Poppy wants a commission on winter. And Jannings... what does Jannings want? Also, I should probably use Eldridge to snag another victim just in case this comes up. Alright, substantial commission on Edge. Level 4 though, so we'll be able to satisfy it. I'm eventually going to run out of luck on this, but... Oh, and I might as well actually do these, so... Jannings... we'll get the edge out of the way. Oh, only one reason. Cool. Frostguard and Shivering, we've made it through the mountains. So next up we're going to use Knock. I'm going to start with Enid because we may not actually have enough to overcome the serpents on their own. Okay, let's do the Painted River. We've got another Forbidden Epic. Okay, so we're pretty likely to upgrade this. The expedition continues. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. Alright, so we'll throw Enid in. Our notoriety is almost gone as a bonus. We're getting a little sad, but we can work with that. And in the final 10 seconds, Neville's going to come in and save the day. Okay, manuscript's done. Jannings will have his work momentarily. And in the meantime, I will do a... Oop! The serpent is long enough to coil around a cottage. Its fangs glisten like ice. Probably it will respect the power we bear. And we call upon the mother ants, which riseth from wounds. The serpent's mouth is large enough to crouch him. Its tongue is the thickness of a man's shoulders, but surely it will respect the power that we bear. In the meantime, let's do that commission on winter. And I will explore any possibilities of getting... I think I'll go to the Ecdysis Club to see... My minion is not returned. I will never know exactly what happened. Bad luck for me. I don't think I have any other means of... I don't think I have any other means of eliminating or of obtaining people. Obviously that was always a risk, but ooh, they want glimmering. That's a tall order on a third run. Okay, so let's think a little bit about what our next step is going to be. I want to see what, so I know what Moth does. I don't know what Winter does. I know what Heart does, and I'm not clear on what Forge does. So let's start by seeing what happens with Winter, especially because I've got a spare one. Murder a stranger. A skilled disciple can probably bring back a fresh corpse. Okay. The serpent's sorrow. It lowers its great head. Moisture seeps from its lidless eyes. Is it weeping? What does it remember of its eldest sister, whose power we call upon? Alright, I've increased my knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know. So we've got an unresolved ambiguity. In the Mansis, the hours strive one against each other. As the struggles are resolved, they iron out the impossible, exalt the possible, tying the fraying braids of what has been into one golden ribbon of future. Everything is resolved. History becomes the past. There are, however, exceptions. Exploring with the scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations in the Rending Mountains, 3,000 miles away among the wreck of the oldest empires. But I want more. I always want more. So we'll start with the Twin Serpents Tantra just so we can work through what we have here. The Tantra describes the Great Hooded Princes, a dynasty of princes of unclear origin, engaging in prayers, sacrifices, and poetry in honor of the Key Serpent. Crossroads Twins and the Mirror Queen. Nagai encircles, Nagai arises from wounds, Nagai spares those who are already harmed. Reason has returned. And treasures lie before us, so I'll not throw anything else towards it. And now is more or less the absolute 0 hour in terms of Oriflammes. So we're gonna accept that whatever summons we had are gonna go away, and we're gonna sell out whatever I can get at the auction house. I might even potentially consider going back to Glover and Glover for a little while just to get the work done. Okay, so I'm gonna have to deal with my sickness as well. So as long as I can get rid of this notoriety, I can safely go back to G&G and not have to worry about things. I'm not going to be getting anything else that I can like work with, but you know, them's the breaks. Okay, so the Twin Serpent Tantra. The Great Hooded Princes are described as having escaped from the history of their death to a history where they yet live. The text claims that there are now 108 of them. In one of many instances of twinnedness before they crossed from their death chronicle, there were only 54. Alright. I think if I study these... Ooh, the Rite of the Mother's Mercy. The assistant is offered in sacrifice to the Mother of Ants, but the Mother knows healing as well as poison, and she will be merciful, accepting a substitute of a lesser offering. Usually the experience is not reassuring for the assistant. So let's see what that asks. So we need an invocation, we need an assistant, we need an offering, so we need to consume an ingredient and the desire. That's not a terrible one. I do prefer this because influence goes away. Attempting a murder. My minion has returned with a fresh corpse and its former belongings. Cool. Not so good for my notoriety. I won't be able to go back to Glover and Glover for a bit. Do have a little bit of money though. Do have little bits of money. All right. And I was going to do something in work. Oh yes. So I was going to say the Thakic Invocation. Ah, so Moth lore of the same level. Oh no, subvert it and no. So anything turns into knock. And I can turn the heart into Grail instead. I mean, well, that won't do because I don't have Grail lore of the same level, but that seems to be a reasonably smart way of getting the next level. So if I can get another Mega Legion incantation. Yeah, so either I need to upgrade my Thunderous Secret. How do I get another Thunderous Secret, I wonder? Okay, so Grail turns to Moth. Forge turns to Edge. Edge turns to Winter. Winter turns to Heart. Well, that's not gonna help me that much. So in principle, I could, well, I can't exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's a way I can sort of combine all of this to move up, but the challenge is that this is going to go to 8 and there's going to be another level above that, so we'll leave it be for now. This is level 6 Forge, so not much I can do about that, but I can finish these commissions. And then I think we'll call it for tonight. Alright, a little cache of treasures culled from over the years from the serpent's meals. It has nosed them into a glinting pile. Neville lives. Ooh, we've got an intensity of radiance. More notoriety. Enid. Care. Unseen. Voiceless Dead and the Raw Prophet. Some funds. Glassfinger Toxin. Lethal Poison. And the Division Bell. First its voice, then after nothing. So cool for Aspect of Winter. But not as helpful for me. Okay, so nothing I can really use the raw search the city. Yeah, no point in delaying this. So let's go to Oriflamme's. I had said we were going to wrap it up, but I'll sell some stuff. Sell something of minimal value. It's an oddity, probably worth something, but it's hard to be sure. I also think I need to start painting with some of these weird pigments because I obviously don't have any other use for them. As far as the Voiceless Dead, so I can use Moth and Winter, so I can produce another corpse. Okay, Adim was happy with me. Oh yeah, and I should be reading the Book of True Blood. Oop, translate from Latin. I was kind of hoping to get more tomes, because I feel like I'm short on lore. Poppy. And I think I am going to paint. Oh yeah, no, we're totally going to use the notoriety. Inspiration. Intensity of radiance? I mean, this might have been helpful for might have been helpful for a ritual, but I kind of blew that. So a mood piece, this should have an impact. Right, what else am I gonna do? Yeah, we'll let Oriflamme's run down. Fulfill a commission. Okay, yeah. Again, the erudition will be helpful. Actually, what might happen, we might be able to upgrade the scholarship, which is nice because that will actually let me see what happens when I use it to talk. So Count Jennings. I forgot to get my vitality. And what do we need? The colors of the night. I could spend money on better paints, or perhaps I could find some more exotic pigments. Alright, so the vital pigments, Grail, Forge, Knock, Edge, Heart. I'm going to try Grail, because I'm kind of curious what happens. Actually, on second thought, I'm going to use the, because I don't know, I'll use the bitter black salts, because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to get out of that. Alright, not too much, but we weren't expecting that. And from Oriflammes, let's sell one of the silver, just because we have quite a few of them. Gained an affliction. Contentment is on its way, but not too helpful. And scholarship. Okay, so apparently talking doesn't help. It can habeas another corpus for me, though. A rote effort. Honestly, I'm only going through the motions. The quality of my work will no doubt suffer. This will show the best advantage in utter darkness, like us all. Finished. Good work. This is work I can be proud of. With enough publicity, it will sell. My name is known, and my work has done well. Alright, so... Ooh. So much! So much! Oh god! Oh god! I'm never gonna get back to work. But great news for my finances. The auction is complete. The auctioneer's gavel bangs. My item has sold. 8 funds, so we're good news there. I'm gonna go to the Ecdysis Club. I'm gonna spend the money on it, and I'm a little curious to see if there's any way that I can get some new contacts out of that. Performance has hardly begun when a moan of terror arises from the audience. Alright, so we've translated the Book of True Blood. I'm going to use this opportunity to study health to get my vitality up. I'm just shy of what I needed on erudition to be able to upgrade it, but... Performance ends immediately. The lights come up, we are ushered from our seats and urged into the street. It's never clear what has happened, but the club staff seem prepared, as if this has happened before. Lights bloom in nearby windows, and passers-by gawp at the crowd of guests dispersing into the night. Still don't want to buy Deep Mysteries. Well, Itaruk, I'm going to ask you a question. Did you find that out all on your own? Did you enjoy finding that out on your own? Because I think the point of this game is that people are able to explore it and learn how things go, and definitely not have people who have never been to the stream before tell them what to do. So normally I'd kick up a big fuss about this, but I'm finishing anyway. But maybe don't do that when people are playing Cultist Simulator, because I have really enjoyed the experience of getting to know this game and getting to discover it, and I don't have a lot of patience for people who want to deny that experience. Hey Coreyism, I'm sorry, but I'm actually wrapping up for tonight, so although for some reason it doesn't want me to, that one corpse wasn't enough, so I'm sure I'm going to lose a level on that and it'll frustrate me, but that's fine because we found out that we can't ascend until we have a lot more lore. I appreciate the apology, Interrupt, but like this is the big thing. You can't unring a bell, right? If you tell somebody what to do, and I think the point of this game is that it takes place in your head. If it just becomes a game where you follow through on every instruction to the letter, then there really isn't a whole lot to experience. And I mean, the DLC is going to come out. Incidentally, for those of you who haven't bought the game yet, all the DLC comes out. You will, gain access to all the DLC if you buy it within the first week. Thank you very much for the follow, Coreyism. But yeah, it is really important. Like, there's going to be a bunch of people who are playing this game and playing it on stream, and the whole fun of this is just being able to get little fragments of the story and the world and seeing what can come up, have the experience of discovering things for yourselves. So I'd really encourage you guys, even if you've played the game for a lot, and I mean, I was there at the Kickstarter, I had a good time with it, and I've still really enjoyed it. Please do make sure that people have an opportunity to learn it and experience it themselves. If they ask for help, obviously you can, but I really think that this is a game which, one, it will be made better, so I'm sure Alexis Kennedy and Lottie Bevan are going to be watching the streams and seeing what happens, and see how people react to it, because obviously a lot of this game has changed over the time that, a lot of the game has changed over time based on the feedback of things not being too clear. And so we wind up hurting ourselves if a sort of an improper impression is given on the game. Yes, I would say getting it on launch is the best option. And actually with that in mind, guys, so I will do the ! game here because it's the link that I have immediately available. If you use that GOG link, by the way, Unreal Gold is free on GOG, so if you don't have a copy of Unreal, feel free to get that. That is my affiliate link, so there is a little bit of money that goes towards me. Two other places that you can get it through Humble. And if you do get it through Humble, that's obviously the publisher. The 30% that normally gets raked off is obviously going to the publisher itself. And if you have a streamer that is partnered with Humble, I recommend Jessie Quill because she is my mod, or normally is my mod. I don't think she was here today. Basically, if there's a streamer that you like that has a partnership with Humble, that's a way that you can put a little bit of that commission towards them. But the last thing is, if you just want to buy it on Steam, that is also very helpful to this game because it helps with the discoverability. The more people that buy it on the first day, the more it climbs up the charts. And number one, there's an interest for you to do that because you will gain access to all the DLC in the Perpetual Edition, like the Kickstarter backers got. And if you do get it on Steam, again, other people will be able to see it. For those of you who already own a copy of the game, I definitely encourage you to let streamers know about it, let people who you think will enjoy the game know about it. We are about half an hour from a week away, although I guess they're going to be launching it in London time, so it's now less than a week away by a couple of hours. Again, if you haven't wishlisted it yet, do wishlist it. It's nice to get that reminder. Let people know and tweet it out. I think this game is really deserving of the attention. It's amazing that they've gotten so much done in 6 months, and the people behind it really are very, very nice. They're, in addition to being very talented game designers, they're genuinely nice people. They're very supportive. They've given me far more attention than I deserve, based on my ranking in terms of the overall Twitch ecosystem. But I am definitely done for tonight, so sorry for those of you who are here for some Cultist Simulator. We do this every Wednesday, at least until launch. We'll see what happens after that. I need to send in a couple of bug reports, and let's see who we can host tonight. K5 is doing Stellaris. He's doing a co-op one. We were doing Stellaris on Monday, and K5 has been a really supportive streamer. Really supportive follower of this stream, so I'd love it if you guys could come along for a raid. I understand if you were here for Cultist Simulator that Stellaris may not be your thing, but I'd love it if you guys could come along and show him a bit of support, because he's definitely been somebody who is also a very active Cultist Simulator streamer, and you can definitely let him know that if he streams it, you will follow. I'm sure everybody loves to get feedback like that. As for me, I'm going to be heading out until... I'm going to be off until Friday. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Assassin's Creed or Battletech on Friday. You can always watch the Twitter for that. But until then, thank you for the follows, thank you for the attention, thank you for participation in chat, and we will see you guys for Cultist Simulator next Wednesday, for Battletech or Assassin's Creed on Friday, and if you're a Stellaris person who just happened to come in on Cultist Simulator Day, we'll see you on Monday. Have a good night, everyone.